some big stuff coming up, Mean Gene. He'll be here on Monday Night Nitro.
Thank goodness you don't sell used cars.
I tell you what, I can sell my foot to your
Great guys like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, you know, they're Benjamin Shelton. There's some really tough guys. Really crazy wrestlers. Like I got Brock Lesnar right after he left the UFC. I got him first. I got Kurt Angle when his eyeballs used to roll back like a shark and he'd come after me. You know, Benjamin Shelton, all these different guys that I've had the opportunity to see.
Bailey is so confused about this. She's probably paying $100 a month to her best friend to text her.
All right, it is Tuesday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing, and it's time for the fastest rising pro wrestling livestream podcast on the internet today. It is time for Tooney Talk Wrestling. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster, and I'm thrilled to welcome you guys back for another week of wrestling talk. There's so much to discuss. Mercedes Monet has a text line, which is just got modern day Mean Gene Okerlund written all over it. The WWE has gone through its annual spring cleaning, and the internet is losing its mind over it. Scott Steiner wants to fight 100 gorillas, and I mean, there's just so much to talk about, but I can't do it alone, guys. I need my expert panel here with me, so let's kick it off. Apollo is here. Hello, my friend.
Yo ho, brother. Just me. Chill out with Benjamin Shelton, man. That's right. Talking about the Kurt Angle's eyes, like a doll's eyes. Soulless and black. Like the man I don't want dating my daughter, brother. Unless it's Benjamin Shelton. That I make an exception for Benjamin Shelton, because he's my best friend. By the way, your microphone sounds like you're talking from the bottom of a jar.
Mine does?
Yeah, yours does, brother. Can't hear you. You went away. You were booming.
I know what happened. Hold on.
There we go.
That's better, brother.
Better? Thought so. Yeah, it was because I didn't have the microphone turned on.
Ah.
The eternal problem. Awful Wrestling is here, live and in color.
Hello, in color. Haha, person of color, in color. What's happening?
I didn't mean it like that, but it is very clear that I am at the cookout this week.
Yes, indeed. You're surrounded.
Man, last time this happened, I lost my bike.
Going for the jugular early.
Right. And look at you with a good microphone now. Apparently you had this the whole time, and you subjected us to a year of that McDonald's drive-through window that you were talking through.
Big fries. No. I've always had this microphone. It was just that our good friend AEW Disciplinary told me to get rid of all the compression on the mic, and so that's what I did.
So he didn't know. So basically, he torpedoed you, essentially.
Yeah, he got me.
Because you let him take over. By the way, Dis will be back next week. He's dealing with a family situation tonight, and we wish him well with that. But we have got a lot to talk about, guys. But as you guys know, this is a podcast that is made for you, and that is funded by you. So we count on your generous super chats in order to keep the lights on around here. We do like to stop and read your super chats whenever we stop between news stories. So we always go through them a bunch at a time. However, we do break for super chats of $50 or more. So if you send in $50 or more, we will stop whatever we're doing to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Let's start off with Zach K for $9.99 saying, hey, TTW community, I'm working tonight, but I will catch the replay of this show tomorrow. By the way, power to the replay crew. I know you guys are out there. I see you commenting every single week. The replay crew is, a nice, strong group that likes to catch up on all the Tooney Talk Wrestling goodness after the fact. So he says, as cringe as Mercedes is, I prefer her to Toni Storm. Both are embarrassing. I don't know who I prefer in that situation. Love the headlock headlines. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. If you didn't know, the headlock headlines are up now. The new episode, which deals with Triple H's Hall of Fame speech, Tony Khan and his various internet friends of the past. Dave Meltzer gets one right. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we were talking about, and then HBO Max numbers. So make sure you guys check it out. Let's see. You and Cumia checking in for $5 just says Glum Gold, Glum Gold, Glum Gold, Glum Gold. I love that one. Blazing Bolts for $5. What is the super chat goal so Kevin can join the Mercedes Monet text app? Hashtag abundance, hashtag crystals. We're going to talk about it later, guys, but we might have to actually do this. I might have to bite the bullet. It would be a business expense, so I could write it off. But I mean, good Lord.
Kev's just giving you the same look that their accountant would give you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're trying to write off a private text line to a scantily clad woman? No, you don't understand. You tried this last year. You tried this last year, Marvin. I didn't take it then. No, this is different. Good Lord.
Go
ahead.
We'll talk about it later, but this just gives me
Frozen vibes.
Yeah, it gives me those same Frozen vibes. You froze. You said this gives me, and then you froze.
Oh yeah.
What did you say?
All the Ickapalooza.
Okay. Yep. But my thing is, and we're going to talk about it later, but I just want to float this idea out there. If she's the highest paid woman in the history of wrestling, why does she have to do this?
Because she's soulless and empty. And a narcissist in desperate need of praise.
Okay, that makes sense. Blazing Bolts for $5. Now that WWE has bought AAA, they're finally in the roadside assistance industry. Credit to Wrestling Soup for that one. Oh, good job, guys. Zach K for $199 says, I'm a huge Monet Mercedes guy, brother. I love that Monet Mercedes.
Man did 3 separate interviews and got the name wrong all 3 times.
That just goes to show you first of all, when did he ever work with Shelton?
Never.
When did he work with Kurt? Oh yeah, no, he did work with Kurt. He worked with
Kurt a bunch of times.
That was you got a problem with bald people, brother? I think that was he had to mention a black guy because otherwise,
Yes. It is possible he could have worked with Brock in the house show circuit, getting ready for their match.
Not after he came back.
I don't
know
when he would have ever worked Shelton.
He said he got Brock after he came back from the UFC. That's ridiculous. He worked Brock when Brock was in Brock's first year.
Yeah, he got Brock in Brock's first year. I think that's just him being old and telling so many lies he can't keep his timetable straight.
Or it's multiversal traveling Hulk Hogan, and on Earth 42, this is what happened. So, let's see.
Not a brand new battery powered spine and hips, brother. We had to try him out on the beast.
Not a glowy for $5. Yeah, he ripped them apart. Because great video today. Now I'm curious as to what the sledgehammer is. No, don't be curious about that. If we had let Tripp get on with his speech, we would have gotten to it eventually.
Ask Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. David Carradine's Closet for $10 Canadian. It's an amazing addition to the Headlock Headlines, Marv. Maybe everyone mad at the releases can text Mercedes when virtue signaling over nobodies gets old or possibly help Tooney with unpacking Hambla. Yeah, exactly. No, you know what? I was really touched by the number of people today who said it was worth the wait, and I was like, thank you. Like, this is what I've been trying to tell you guys. If you rush it, it's not going to be good. Awful. You had a really weird pull as to like what your favorite moment was.
When such a busy day. Oh yeah, when you said yeah, Dave, you got that one right, and Dave goes, yeah. Listen, I'm a dork. What can I say? I like the small things.
Like, did you notice I didn't modulate Meltzer's voice this time? I didn't take it to the lower register. I realized it sounds fine as is. I never needed to lower it.
Yeah. Just got to put more bass in your voice. That's all.
Yeah. Dial C4 for $2 is to force Kevin Apollo to text Mercedes. Yes. They're all trying to get you to do it.
I don't
get you to do it, Kevin.
On that one.
Uncultured Barbarian for $5 says, say his name and he appears. I believe in Glom Gold. I believe in Glom Gold. Glom Gold. Glom Gold. Glom Gold. Last Call Podcast for $5. In defense of Mercedes Monet, at least she is not Jordan Hudson and trying to date Tony Khan and take over the family inheritance. At least not yet. Is that the name of Tony Khan's significant other?
Wait, he has a significant other?
Apparently, I've always heard that he's dating some gold digging model who pretends to, stand his presence for more than 5 consecutive seconds.
Yeah, he's always shown with somebody around his arm. I don't know if it's the
That's
same
Bill
but...
Isn't that Bill Belichick's girlfriend?
What? Jordan
Is
Hudson?
it?
Right?
That's
Belichick's girlfriend.
It is Bill Belichick.
Listen, we don't get to talk smack about Bill Belichick. That man is a legend.
Look, Tony,
time. He's got money. We know what's up.
We're just connecting this to Belichick's story because it's very similar. Well, Mercedes, I think, will try to date Tony Khan at some point.
I believe it.
John Williams for $4.99 says, hello, fellow human. I appreciate you giving me money. You are totally handsome and no need to shower. That's Mercedes Monet on the text line. Because let's be real, guys, you are not texting her. There's no way you are actually texting her.
You're getting an AI bot and some intern.
Right.
Or Jennifer or Jennifer Pepperman.
Yeah. That's what it'll say. It'll say Jen Pepperman is typing.
Caller ID comes in as Jennifer Pepperman. I mean Mercedes Monet.
Yeah.
The poor woman. Did you see? I guess one of the people that was that got the axe at WWE this week was one of the head writers, who was this lady who was apparently just despised in the WWE. What was her name? Hold on, I have it saved somewhere. I gotta see it. That was Christine Lebrano, who was the senior vice president of creative writing operations for WWE. Apparently despised. I've seen a lot of former writers, including Jennifer Pepperman, like celebrating, singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead," essentially.
Wow.
Jennifer Pepperman just wrote, "Today I feel vindicated."
Oh, because that's who she was referring to. Okay.
Yes, she was referring to that woman because apparently she was like they were at odds or whatever. Denver Dollface for $2 says, excellent question, Benjamin. Andre Adams for $9.99 says, $99 text. Have we achieved peak symptom? I think so. I think that is like, I do not want to meet the people who unironically pay $99 to text an AI chatbot pretending to be Mercedes Monet.
Oh, sweet God. How are you today, Mercedes?
Mercedes, do you want to trade picks? You know what? If we do sign up for this, I'm gonna tell my AI chatbot to pretend to be Mercedes Monet and give it the same prompts that I'm gonna give the Mercedes Monet chatbot, and see if it comes up with the exact same answers. Liquid Fox for $2 Canadian says, in 19 days I will be laughing. 246 BTW. What's 19 days?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know what he means. Johnny Cage for $5 says, say his name and he appears. I believe Dave Meltzer. That is that's the one that everyone seemed to really like, was the Meltzer one, the third Joe Hendry song. So I'm glad people liked it. Regina Sharp checking in says, sorry, lost track of time. Has anyone seen Glum Gold? Glum Gold! Glum Gold! Glum Gold! Yes, that's the third time. John Williams for $1.99 says, what the hell did Marvin awful switch mics? Yeah, that was when I was just connected to my my headphones accidentally. So thank you for catching that, John Williams. CWJ 128 for $2 says, hey, Apollo Kevin, ready for real wrestling? I love that Apollo Kevin guy. That wrestling awful.
Yeah.
Ray for $5 says, good to see you all, Tooney Town fam. Your boy turned 23 today. Hey!
Nice.
Congratulations,
that's awesome.
young buck.
Happy birthday!
Finally got to
Birthday
use that
punch,
one.
brother.
Yeah. Chops, right? Michael Parham for $1.99 says, we got a new headlock. We got a new headlock headlines before GTA 6. Hey, you got a GTA 6 trailer today. And they were like, look, there's a guy in it. There's a guy in it. There's a male protagonist too, guys. Look. Guys, it's called Bait and Switch. It's called we spent $2 billion, literally $2 billion making this game. And now we're terrified because nobody wants it. Yeah, the game.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
The game alone.
Talk to me.
Yeah, no, the game alone cost $1 billion to develop, plus $500 million in promotion, and then another $500 million is being spent on post-launch content, including live service elements.
Jesus, I thought the trailer looked great.
That's trailer did look great. The trailer looks fantastic. I just think that it's a bait and switch.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, I did notice though, as great as the trailer looked, what'll all Grand Theft Auto trailers all have? Personality.
No gameplay.
No gameplay, but they all have a vibe, a feel, a personality. This game was completely and totally devoid of anything that felt like a personality.
I thought the only thing that had a personality was the setting. Like it was Florida. Like Florida Yeah, like Vice City had a personality in this, but the main characters did not seem to.
I'm a little worried. The most we got was an ammunition. Wait till people realize that there's no Laszlo in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Maddie for $4.99 says, Hogan be like, them sharks only bite when you touch their private parts, brother. Good Lord. Oh, Liger J81 for $2 says, is that Apollo Kevin, brother? Oh my gosh, we're gonna pause for right there for now. We will get to the rest of your super chats a little bit later on in the show, but we got to move on because we're 23 minutes into the show. We got to start talking about all the amazing things happening in the world of wrestling this week, guys. So let's kick it off with our old friend Hulk Hogan. Let's see what he had to say. We saw it a bit before in the cold open. Thank you, Awful. But let's take a quick look. Hold on. I see. Let's take a quick look at what he said.
Great guys like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, they're Benjamin Shelton. There's some really tough guys. Really crazy wrestlers. Like I got Brock Lesnar right after he left the UFC. I got him first. I got Kurt Angle when his eyeballs used to roll back like a shark and he'd come after me. Benjamin Shelton, all these different guys that I've had the opportunity to see adapt to our business. Great guys like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, they're
hold on.
Benjamin Shelton. There's some really
great guys like Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, and Benjamin Shelton. One of those things is not like the others. Like it just in terms of like big names, like you wouldn't say The Rock, you wouldn't say Jericho. Like you go with Shelton Benjamin, who you've never worked with.
What's he trying to give AEW the rub or something? Like
I don't know, man.
Because they're all shoot amateur wrestlers. That's why. That's why.
Okay.
That's why they're all name dropped together.
Okay.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. So You know who responded to this was our old friend Shelton Benjamin. Or Benjamin Shelton, I should say. So Benjamin Shelton said, message to Hulk Hogan. You lost me forever with your don't get caught, or as you would call it, apology speech. So rather than screw up my name and pretend we ever had any sort of camaraderie, which we never had, please do me a favor and keep my name out your effing mouth. So there you go. Do you guys think that was justified on Shelton's part?
Yeah, he's hoeing him out.
Is what?
He's hoeing him out.
Oh, yeah.
If they've never had a conversation.
Hoeing him out? What is that?
That's right. The Hulkster is trying to use Shelton's name like he's a pimp.
I guess
You're gonna get to work for me, brother. You got this corner to work for me, brother. We got to sell this real American wrestling for real wrestlers, brother. And you're a real wrestler. And that means, brother, we're friends now.
That's why he's doing it. That makes more sense. Okay.
That means we're friends now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hulk Hogan is coming up with the Real American Freestyle.
Yep, Real American
the amateur wrestling. But if he's trying to get any of those three guys to, join up with him, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
They want
nothing
to
to
do
do absolutely
with him.
not.
Now. And the young guys who are in the amateur wrestling sphere are not really going to play around with Hogan. I'm very curious how this is going to turn out for Real American Free. Is it going to go the same way as Real American Beer down the toilet?
Well, they're going to rely on Bischoff and the main coach because they'll do all the talking, and Hogan. The only thing Hogan's really good for is getting the advertisers.
Have we talked about this on the show yet? Is this the first time we're talking about Real American Wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah, it debuted after we were shut down last week, so it's first time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, man, ignorance really is bliss in some situations. Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff announced the third man. It was not Conrad Thompson, the way that we originally thought it was going to be. It was some guy from the UFC, and they are announcing basically a shoot wrestling league called Real American Wrestling, which is going to be like basically UFC, but like just grappling, like just amateur wrestling. Did I get that right?
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, I mean, amateur wrestling as it stands now, it's kind of popular, but it's very insulated. Like if you're not a wrestling fan, an amateur wrestling fan, you're really not going to get into the sport. But once you're into the sport, it's almost like it's a great thing. You're in for life. But I'm very curious. Like I said, Hulk Hogan, professional wrestling.
Yeah. Again, I really think Izzy Martinez is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. The guy's a legendary coach. I think they're really going to be looking to grab a lot of MMA guys. A lot of post high school wrestlers who maybe aren't going to continue on into college, or collegiate wrestlers who aren't going on to the next level, to try to fill their ranks and just kind of go from there. But it's going to be interesting to see, because in terms of people who watch, like sit down and put it on ESPN 400 and watch the tournament and watch the tournament all day, you have to be really into it. Into it. But even that's really limited to people who have done it and their parents, right? Like there's no shortage of wrestling moms out there who stalk it out. But my
dad, my brothers, my mom, and my grandmother are all huge amateur wrestling fans, and they like go to the States, like they go to like the big collegiate tournaments. So this is 100% for them. I'm the only person that was in that household that was just like, I don't care about this. I'm gonna go watch Raw. But
why not both?
Yeah, I don't know, man. So awful. I mean, like you have a passion for amateur wrestling. I know. I know that's one of like the sports that you really enjoy. So, do you think this has a chance to succeed on a large stage?
If American Freestyle Wrestling and USA Wrestling aren't able to promote properly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a tough thing to do. And I'm so curious how Hulk Hogan is going to bring his cachet into this amateur field and think he's going to be able to do some sort of like great marketing or whatever. I don't see it happening. You barely like the only time you really get to see amateur wrestling on any sort of mainstream platform is when it's the NCAA championships. And
Right.
even during the Olympics, it's not as prominent as it used to be. Because they've got Gable Steveson. He ran back to college for some damn reason and lost to Hendrickson. But yeah, and that's where Hogan got the impetus to want to do this whole thing. He saw that match, he saw that upset, and he was just like, I can do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
There's been upsets ever since the sport's been around. How are you going to be able to market this? I just
Well,
don't
do you,
get it.
now do you think that they're going to start throwing in things like promos and like
Oh
like
God,
trying
please,
to like
no. No one is going to dig that. No one in the amateur wrestling industry is going to like that. They listen to guys like Cale Sanderson, Dan Gable. If Dan Gable and Cale Sanderson, who are icons in the sport, if they say this Hogan thing, I'm not really too sure about it, the entire field of professional wrestlers are going to listen to him.
I think they're going to rely on Bischoff to get the TV, to get the marketing people behind it, to figure out how to talk about it. They're using Izzy to speak to anybody who would be on the fence, who would have any sway over squashing it. And I think what you'll see is it'll probably be like a mix of Stallone's Contender and Ultimate Fighter.
right.
So
you think it'll be like reality? You think it'll be reality show based, not just like
I think so. I really think that's really the only way you can do it is you'll spend time with each wrestler. You'll get to know them. You'll get a look at the training, and then they'll wrestle. That's really the only way I see it being viable for the long term. And then maybe they're hoping that if the guy can catch enough steam, you'll follow his career when he goes someplace else, almost like a feeder system for other things. Because they said they're not trying to compete with UFC, they're not trying to compete with other professional wrestling. They're trying to fill that very specific niche. But I don't think you get Eric Bischoff to leave his house, and you're not getting Izzy to come pull away from what he's doing. Unless there's a bigger scale plan in place, and Hogan is, for all we want to say about Hogan is a very smart, very shrewd businessman. He's not going to throw his name on something willy nilly like he's Ric Flair, because he doesn't like to suffer. He doesn't like to suffer embarrassments. So
What about the restaurant? What about the beer?
That's just
Pasta Mania, brother.
Pasta Mania,
brother. That's just quick cash outs.
WCW.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Pasta Mania. Now, here's an interesting thing. Unknown Sample saying the mystery backer is Vince. It might be.
It could be.
We've been hearing for a while that Vince is investing in something. I could totally see both at their lowest point, Vince and Hogan return to each other.
Oh, you couldn't live with your failure.
Where did that bring you?
That bring you
Back to me.
Good luck, Hogan. I'd like to see this happen. That every time I think of amateur wrestling and as far as like new rules and all that, I think of that one scene in Eyes Wide Shut where they've got Tom Cruise all cornered, because that is the amateur wrestling and amateur wrestling like sphere. Like, I can't even describe it. It's very brotherhood. A lot of brotherhood going on there, and a
lot of brotherhood.
A lot of brother. Now there's gonna be one more brother going on in there. Brother.
Oh my goodness. All right, trying to figure out what we want to take a look at next. Oh, this is a fun story. Actually, let me get to some super chats and then I'll get to our next story. Let's see here. Monkey Balls for $5. I didn't know that Toni Storm was gay until this week. No wonder she was so upset at getting cream pie in WWE.
Oh,
No one knew
I
she was
love
gay
it.
until this week
right.
because
Wait, she announced that she was gay this week?
out of nowhere she's like, I'm queer. Okay, no one
Well,
cares.
that just means that could mean that she just kind of likes to look at pictures of
Yeah.
ladies. I mean that term is so broad now that it's Tony trying.
It means nothing. It means nothing. It means I want attention.
Means everything but happy now.
Oh my goodness. Andre Adams for $9.99 says, when you mentioned Monet, Kev made the same face I make when I saw the EV Mustang. Oh jeez. There's an EV Mustang?
Yeah, dude. Adam Page showed up at a Dynamite and he rolled in with a EV Mustang.
The EV
with
Mustang?
steer horns up. Yeah. With steer
Of
horns.
course he
steer
did.
horns? Oh,
Yeah.
Of course he did.
it's like, how can I be like JBL but just a little gayer?
Mm.
No, that's not against EVs, but an EV Mustang. Like if you're buying an EV Mustang, you're missing the point.
If you're buying an EV,
but-
you're missing the point.
Listen, Tesla's the only EVs that are worth talking about. Everything else is a cowboy from Virginia who wears butterflies on his jeans.
Yeah, by the way, I am trying to get a Tesla this summer, so I'm very excited.
Oh.
Yes, I am. I'm going to join the elite of the elite. Well, they're cheap now because Elon's been having a prolonged temper tantrum, so I'm going to take advantage while the getting's good.
Damn right.
Chef Eddie for $5. You tried writing off that Mandy Rose subscription last year, Marv. The IRS ain't going to buy it. To be fair, it was Sunny. I was curious.
Oh no, wait, which Sonny?
Yeah, which one?
Oh God, no, like Tammy Lynn Sitch. No, we're not gonna. Did you send me that Sunny Kiss has bosoms now?
Oh, there's something wrong with my camera. My mic is going bad. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Hey, love it.
Yeah, no, I saw something somewhere and yeah, like full on implants now. So
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Can't promise I'll answer it.
Yeah, I know. Full transition, or was this a dude that just acts like a girl? Because I've never really wanted to find out, I guess.
I don't think you can answer. I really don't think you can answer that one, Kev. I'm gonna step in there for you.
Somebody in the chat help me out.
Yeah, I mean,
where's my kitten playing with a ball of yarn?
yeah.
Out of way.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, quick, something adorable.
Peter, the pumpkin eater!
There we go. We're good now.
Something masculine, something cute.
Yep. Juan Alacan for $5 is $100 a month for fake messages from Monet. Rather spend $20 a month for Cora Jade's adult subscription site and goon myself until dehydration.
Sweet Christ! Wow!
I like it.
Put it all out there.
Tooney Talk has gone morbid.
Yes, we have. That black bear for $10 says, say his name and he appears. I believe in that black bear. I believe in that black bear. Because I love him in Kevin Apollo's house and Kevin's car and Kevin Apollo's garbage and Apollo's yard. I added a bit to it, that black bear. Oh my gosh. Any sightings?
No, he's been I know where he is. He's a couple blocks away. He hasn't made his way back up here. I'm dealing with two giant dog-sized raccoons right now that are really old. So for the sake of not getting demonetized, I can't say the things that I'm screaming at them for fear of people getting confused by what I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah. So I like that you always know where the bear is, though. Like,
Yeah,
even
I
when it's
track
not
it.
directly, even when it's not directly attacking you. Johnny Cage for $5 says Tony is paying a whole roster to be his friends. I have no doubt that he pays for the girlfriend experience. That is very true.
Not that there's anything wrong with that,
You
but
think.
I mean, just come out with it.
Not that there's anything wrong with paying for a girlfriend. I'm pretty sure there is.
For a
Honestly,
night or two?
Oh, okay. You're talking about just getting a hooker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you even think his fuzzy dice have dropped that he would have any interest in actually having a girlfriend experience? Or does he want
Okay.
someone just to be Miss Elizabeth and Sunny when he's playing with his toys?
Yeah, exactly. Be the fifth ring post. Joseph J. Alexander for $5. That Mercedes text grift is the first step she'll use as a recruiting tool that I covered on last week's White Heat. Shout out, awful.
Yes, indeed.
Why are we shouting you out? What's going on here?
No, I went on JJ's show last week. That's all.
Oh, how was it?
And it was awesome. We talked about her and her crystallizations and schoolings and her grifting and all of her nonsense that she deals with when she's not performing in a wrestling ring.
Oh, awesome. Virginia Sharp says for $5 says for $99 a month you should at least get AI nudes.
We can ask Rock for that, can't we?
Probably. Yeah, they won't make something that looks like a real person.
Okay.
The AIs are shackled in that regard. Which is why getting it to make this robot of her for the thumbnail was like I had to be very careful in how I worded it.
Right.
JPS for $5 says say his name and he appears. I believe in me. So you guys know each one of those 3 songs, there is a full version of that song. And I will eventually put out all. Yeah, no, I did the whole thing for all 3 of them. And I will eventually put them out as their own videos. I think it was pin your
Paris.
shoulders to the mat and say, I believe in Triple H, me. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
John Williams at 199 says I thought she came out during NXT. I don't know who he's talking about.
I thought she came out during NXT. Oh, he's talking about Tony Storm, and I think you might be right, John, because I do remember that being like a hot topic for about 3 minutes, and no one gave a shit about Tony Storm anyway, so they moved on.
Regina Sharp for $5 says they see Marv rolling in a Tesla, and I know they're all thinking Marv's too white and nerdy. Oh, maybe.
He's orange.
Yeah. That black bear for $2 says gender fluid, and then also says they're scouts, Mr. Apollo, the raccoons. Oh my goodness. I love it. Of course, Joseph J. Alexander is also saying Tony is bisexual. Pronouncing it that way just because I don't know how YouTube acts with that kind of stuff. She was with Tyler Bate for years. Okay. So
it gives the B movie a whole new meaning.
Yeah. So this is kind of a fun story. There was a concert, a Fozzy concert that was canceled, and the venue is apparently not too happy about it. So, let's see here. The Royal Grove say Fozzy May 3rd at the Royal Grove canceled by artist. More info on the next slide. So for May 3rd at the Royal Grove has been canceled by the artist. The band's lead singer has chosen to prioritize a wrestling match, and despite our efforts, they have ultimately declined to perform. We're very disappointed too, and appreciate your understanding. And they did have a screen cap of a text said, "Hi, Greg. Management has just advised that there is an issue with the show date. Chris's wrestling schedule has changed, and they are no longer available on May the 3rd." So, man, they're not happy. The folks over at the Royal Grove. Also, Fozzy is still touring. My goodness, who is going to see a Fozzy concert in today's day? AEW fans, I guess, right?
They do pretty good. I mean, it's still stuck mojo for all intents and purposes. So.
I mean, I never hated. I didn't hate Fozzy. I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was, decent. So, also they said the folks over at the Royal Grove have said To make up for the cancellation, we're offering all ticket holders a 2025 all-year, all-events access pass completely free, or you may request a full refund instead. Please email us at info@theroyalgrove.com with your preference and order confirmation number before May 7th to ensure your request is pressed. That's pretty big that they're giving them an all-events access pass.
Yeah. Like,
not bad.
Are they filled up for the year for them to justify?
What's funny to me is that Jericho, I mean, his whole thing used to be just wrestling, or I always thought when he first started with AEW that wrestling was going to take a back seat to Fozzy, but I guess not. I guess he's still
he was trying to do that 50-50 thing,
yeah.
Half singer, half wrestler. And if you remember, he also tried to be like a TV host of a couple shows.
Yeah, I think so. Look, all Jake takes on says Fozzy played at a small venue a few miles from me. Saw the venue's Instagram story. They normally have to remove the cocktail tables for shows. They didn't for Fozzy.
Oh no.
Oh
yeah. Well, at least you have somewhere to put your drink.
Yeah. But isn't this why he's doing those those cruises, the Jericho cruises? Doesn't he invite Fozzy on for those things too?
Yeah, Fozzy's a big part of that cruise, I believe.
Right.
They do like the concerts on the boat. But I'd only go for Scott Steiner though, because that man makes having Twitter worthwhile. There's nothing good on X with the exception of Scott Steiner's page. It's just oh, and now Rick's on there, which is even bad, which is just as good because they're both just completely deranged. Oh my god!
Me and my brother Riggy, Scotty. What we talking about, Scotty? Riggy, this is what we talking about. We talking about gorillas, Riggy. What about gorillas, Scotty? Riggy, we gonna duplex them. We gonna duplex them gorillas, Scotty. I love it.
What?
That's
so
like.
So there has been this thing floating around, and it is who would win in a fight: one gorilla versus 100 grown men. Now, that's not the question, though. The question is 100 gorillas versus one Scott Steiner, and this was brought up by Scott Steiner. So, first of all, I want your take on the one gorilla versus 100 grown men. I'm pretty sure that 100 grown men can beat a gorilla.
So do I. Thank you,
Yeah.
Marv.
Yes. Just tell the doughboy dad bods to stay the hell on home. Let some real men do some work. 3 South Africans in the Congo can kill a gorilla. I don't want to hear it. We're taking them out.
They have gorillas as pets.
No weapons, though?
No weapons. Not that I would say I'm going to run into a gorilla tomorrow, but they're not used to anybody actually fighting back. So all you gotta do is challenge them, and they're gonna back down, and then choke the some bitch out with his big ass gorilla neck. Still got a neck. Put that some bitch to sleep.
I just pictured that, and I was just like, impossible.
Well, Kev, it's interesting that you say that because
exactly.
Oh my god.
Correct. I love that he has taken it upon himself to just stand up for mankind. And, essentially, this is how it started. He was just like, what's this talk about 100 men versus one gorilla? What about 100 gorillas versus one genetic freak? It's amazing. So, no, but like 100 men versus one gorilla, you'd have to think that like sheer numbers, because 100 men is a lot of men, and it's only one gorilla. The gorilla might take down 15, 20 of them, but the other 80 are going to stop the gorilla.
Collision.
I know. Well, no, I mean, look, if you drop that gorilla into an AEW show with the 100 people in that crowd, the gorilla's walking out.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
It also, at the end of the day, I saw somebody who was like, the gorilla has. Hold on, let me try to find it because it was a good one. I think I have it in my bookmarks. So, oh yeah, hold on. Here it is. When the gorilla defeated 99 humans, they send out the final man.
Remember when he was the vanilla gorilla?
Yeah, I was about to say we used to call him the vanilla gorilla. That's not a fair fight. You're bringing out a vanilla gorilla to fight a gorilla.
They did one for Mark Henry too.
Did they?
Yeah.
That one doesn't feel right to play. I feel like somebody somewhere will be offended by that.
At the end of the day,
but
listen, all the gorilla has to do is say Harambe so we can get the Batman versus Superman ending.
Yeah.
God. Why did you say that name?
Harambe. Why did you say that name? That's his mother's name.
Oh no.
Now we're
Man,
friends with gorillas.
now we're all friends with gorillas. But so yeah, I gotta think. Even unarmed, 100 men take down a gorilla. But let's take a look at what Big Papa Pump had to say about this, because he got into it. So he says, let's say you got 100 average men, no weapons, no training, just fear in their eyes and dad bods in their way. Then you got one full-grown silver-pack gorilla, 600 pounds of pure rage, muscle, and tree-ribbon power. Here comes the math. Out of those 100 men, maybe 25% don't even show up once they see the gorilla. That's 25 cowards eliminated immediately. Then you got 33 and 1/3% of them trying to talk it out. They're done. Another 20% trying to talk it out.
Yeah.
Another 20% just stand there frozen, pissing their pants. They end up with about 21 guys panicked, half committed, and getting launched like lawn darts. What if Big Papa Pump's in the mix? You just tipped the freaking scale. Now it's not 100 men versus one gorilla. It's one gorilla versus a genetic freak. And that spells disaster for the gorilla. So there you go, guys.
God.
The genetic freak, the booty daddy, has spoken.
That's right.
We now have Steiner gorilla math.
He hollers and we hear.
I
So-
did
so-
hear.
Who's picking these 100 men, by the way? I heard this is via
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, who's like 110 pounds soaking wet. Like who?
I volunteered.
You volunteered? Where did you
did.
sign up at?
I don't know. I just tweeted him. He asked. I said, I'll do it.
Wait, he's actually recruiting for this?
Oh my God,
He
please get
dropped
Kevin
it.
Apollo on this thing, please.
Because he dropped it because PETA got their little panties in a twist. Ruined everybody's time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But we're still talking about it.
Yeah, because
Well,
he's gonna get this viral. It's all coming back.
But,
Well, so now let me ask this question, and this is one that I remember from a while ago. One grown man versus 100 kindergartnens.
grown
wins
ass
that?
man is whooping their little asses.
Yeah, but isn't that the same thing with the
That is a
gorilla?
great.
No, because it's a cognitive thinking and strategy game.
Oh, okay. So like
100 kids are
you
gonna
make
run
sure.
up and want to hug you.
Right. No. The kids are there with hell in their eyes. Like they're there to
Okay.
fight. No, he's
Children
saying
of
that
the
the grown. He's saying the grown man can like outthink the 100 kindergartners and maybe like funnel them into an alleyway so they come at you maybe 3 at a time. And like
Yeah.
you would take 3 kindergartners. That's fine. That's easy.
Yeah, we'll just 300 them.
Exactly. Exactly. The Spartans gave us the blueprint for this. But you know, I was just saying because like I feel like to a gorilla, a grown man is the size of a kindergartner.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, let's be honest. Gorillas don't work out, but they can still press
They
1,000
don't
pounds.
have to. Yeah, they
They
don't have to work
1,500
out.
They have a 1,500 pound bite pressure. They can pop your head like a grape.
Yeah.
I'm not going straight on it. I'm with those little dad bods
Go for
Your
a
little
double
dad
leg,
bod.
Kev.
and fear and little fear sissies pee their pants while the gorilla's squeezing them. I'm gonna climb up, put that some bitch to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Big talk for a guy that doesn't have a gorilla in his living room right now.
this is true. This is true. Well, now what about I was at a horse track, not a horse track. It was like a fair that had like horses there, and there was like a pony, And I was like, I asked my friend, I said, do you think I could beat that pony in a fight? And they were like, absolutely not. And I was like, it's a pony. It's not a full horse. Like, it's a full horse. No, like, I'm not beating a full horse. I understand this. But like a pony? Come on, I could take a pony out.
Marv was at the vet.
I watched Conan the Barbarian and the Destroyer. Would knock a camel's ass out. You can knock if you can knock out a camel, you can knock out a horse.
Hey, didn't wrestlers wrestle with bears back in the 50s
They
and
did.
60s?
Yeah. They did.
They used to wrestle bears.
My old high school gym teacher was friends with Beefcake when they were in when he was in college. He wanted to be a wrestler, but he realized he didn't want to do the schedule. But he to earn money when he was younger would wrestle bears, and he wanted to do it in our school. The district just wouldn't let him do it, but he was prepared. And let me tell you, my senior year, I decided that I was going to wrestle him because it was a different time when you could have fun. And there have been a very few number of times in my life where I was manhandled. I challenged him and went flying. I was airborne.
Do you think he could have beaten the gorilla?
I know Big Bob would have whooped that gorilla's ass.
Or a pony.
Oh, he would.
I'm just saying, man. I still think one good spin kick and I could have taken that pony out.
Yeah, because he was on the operating table.
No, he was on. No, it's a regular pony actually standing on all four legs. It's a pony. It's not that strong. It can't. It's not a beast of burden. It can't pull a cart.
And to complete the story, he used to sound like Goldar.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you again, Green Weakling.
So yes, it was the 90s. So what are you doing? Get up! Are you gay? Come on!
Yeah, that sounds about right.
PTSD.
I'm just saying, man. Like little Sebastian from he's not a pony, he's a miniature horse. But like I could totally take a miniature horse one-on-one.
Punch you right in his little horse face.
Exactly. Just one. Like it might not be one shot, but I'm gonna wear that thing down.
That's right.
I'm just
shoving these sugar cubes up your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Gorillas,
Take
their
that.
strength must be just
phenomenal. It's insane.
Like,
it's insane.
I'm looking at Kevin now like, yep, one swipe, that head's going right off those shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. All right, we got some super chats to get to here. Let's get to that before we get into the mass firings, the spring cleaning.
I said, I work out the way I do because you never know when you're going to encounter a human-animal hybrid. I'm ready.
This is true. Or just a guy in a furry costume that you just, that's coming at you and you got to take care of business.
Oh, dear God, please. Please.
With rainbow makeup.
Hands out.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
All bee booty bitches and bacon with big boobies for $2. Oh my goodness, what is that? I'm a cat now. Meow meow. Amazing. Oh, it's amazing. Liquid Fox for $2 Canadian says in 19 days, you too will be laughing, Marv. 244. I don't understand what he's talking about.
I love it. I love this kind of gonzo type marketing. Whatever you're doing, Liquid Fox, keep it pushing. Send more money.
I don't. Yeah. Well, JPS for $5 says Tony cams out only to marry Juice Robinson. So yeah, all the letters mean nothing. Oh, did she marry Juice Robinson?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, but when you marry a dude, are you still able to be like, yeah, I'm in this community? Like you won't like.
Look
haven't
at
you
Rhea
married?
Ripley.
Like, is she?
Is she what? She's she's an orbiter of the LGBTQ.
Well, I know that they're all obsessed with her, but I don't know. I didn't know that she was a part of it.
She's playing around with it. She teases.
I thought she was just she's leaning into people thirst trapping everything she does all day, but she was just
at the end of the day, she's married to she's married to a big scary dude.
Yeah. I'm here for the sausages, not the box lunches.
Exactly. Regina Shot for $10 says, ooh, parody of a parody idea. Marv does White and Nerdy rewritten about him, but he's constantly protesting that he's orange in the background for the entire song. I do love that stuff. Liquid Fox for $2 Canadian says, I'll bet on it. Double or nothing, 242. It's double or nothing. Okay, in 19 days, YouTube will be laughing. Okay, so it's AEW Double or Nothing is what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm going back and revisiting these to see. Yes, in 19 days I will be laughing. 246, but I don't know what the 200 something is. But
the amount of hours you'll be watching that pay-per-view.
Probably.
Yeah.
PJ's 02D for $2 says TK is girl from Canada. TK's girl is from Canada. You don't know her. Oh yeah. Last week she was here, but she had the flu. It's my girlfriend who lives in Canada. John Williams for $4.99 says, I'd rather fight a gorilla than Scott Steiner. The gorilla would make it quick. Scott Steiner would take his time. Oh yeah. No, you're breaking in the Steiner recliner.
My girlfriend
Andre Adams for
went to Degrassi.
Andre Adams for $1.99 says 100 gorillas versus Chuck Norris. I'm done with the Chuck Norris stuff.
Dude, when was Chuck Norris ever this badass?
70s.
Saw him get his ass. Yeah, really, the 70s.
Well, no. I will. You know what?
Don't tell me Walker.
No. I've seen training videos of Chuck Norris from even just 20 years ago, and I would. You know what? I'll fight the gorilla before I would be kicked by Chuck Norris. The listening to him kick the bags, it sounded like thunder. That is just a man who has deadly efficiency and power. So I get it.
Amazing.
Give me an excuse to make for the Steven Seagal sissy run.
Regina Shop for $5 says SS the math is disputative. Who's SS? Scott Steiner. The math is disputative.
You know, Mean Gene, before the hands in the pen, you go, hot cock-a-doodle-doo, mean a dog face to a gremlin,
training. Brian Stryker for $20. Thank you so much. Is 100 AEW sickos versus one Scott Steiner. That doesn't last 2 seconds. only if he decides that he's going to get him some while he's doing it. I feel like it might be time to revisit the Scott Steiner workout video. We watched it one of our earliest episodes, but our audience has grown exponentially since then. I think it might be time for us to take another look at just the craziest workout video on the face of you have to chop down a tree and lift it.
When you get to the back half of the video where he just has the freak sitting in his lap, that makes it all worthwhile.
It's amazing. It's like when it the video has to come with 3 hooches to sit on your shoulders while you do squats.
Yeah. Where are you gonna find 3 hooches from?
I see Dirty Dallas White Trash. He doing this yoga stuff. It's time for me to do a workout video. Last Call Podcast, our friend Chris Conner for $5 says, give me Haku, Scott Steiner, Lesnar, and Kevin Apollo versus 10 gorillas. Only question is, who will be the one that kills more gorillas, and does Haku bite their noses off? They don't have big noses to begin with, because the gorilla's nose is pretty into the face. But if anyone could find a way to do it, it's Haku.
Yo.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, okay, hear me out. 100 fast kindergartners zombies.
Oh no, we don't do that.
No, we don't traffic in zombies around here.
We don't do that.
Nope.
We cut the line at zombies.
It's bad enough that we have a monkey that escaped from a laboratory that no one talks about.
Wait, what?
You don't remember this?
No.
A monkey escaped from a laboratory in North Carolina 8 months ago. And they can't find it.
Wait. Was the monkey like a zombie?
No, it probably has a zombie virus.
Oh, yeah, probably.
They're going to give him a rap contract?
What? I'd like to point out the black guy's the one that said that. Mr. Jamie Jam 88 for $4.99 says, I'm 6 foot 250 pounds, pretty jacked. Would Steiner let me join him against the gorilla? No, I think he needs to do this alone. I think this is something.
That's the only one. That one is me. Big booty daddy.
Oh my goodness. Regina Sharp for $5 says, I kicked a pony keg once. Does that count? What is a pony keg?
It's a tiny keg.
Is it? I've never heard of such a thing. That's a thing that exists. Okay. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna roll with it. John Williams for $4.99 says, Tony Khan says, all it takes is one man to beat a gorilla. Just give it a lot of money from your dad. It'll lay down. CWJ 128 for $2 says 19 days is double or nothing. Yes. BT23 for $2 says, guess releases were for getting better talent for WWE. Absolutely. And you know what? He says, what do you think happens to the releases? Great transition there, BT23, because we are about to talk about that. Let's talk about that, guys. So the WWE, now look, we sometimes call this spring cleaning after WrestleMania every year. WWE basically takes a look at its roster and decides who it's not using, and those talents are released to make way for the new signees. It's kind of like, we call it spring cleaning. So let's see who was on the list this year. So Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance. Also Cora those were the ones just from the WWE. The NXT ones are Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, Riley Osborne, Oro Mensah, Javier Bernal, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, Wolfgang, and Danny Palmer. That's a lot of names. Now, I'm of the mindset that they're not done because this typically comes in waves, but that's a lot of people, guys. And like when you can look at this as a business, you can look at it and see like, okay, we know what this is. We know that, this is, when they can't make money off you anymore and they just have nothing for you, you go, you leave, you do your thing, and then you come back better than ever one day. It worked for Drew, it worked for Cody, worked for a lot of other guys. So I'm sure that nobody is going to, freak out, especially about the genders of, or the race of the people involved. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you guys hear that? Yes, we had like
those babies.
Yeah, a canceled pig mob descended on the WWE this week, being like, no, there's women in there. I'm sorry, guys, but like, shut up. Like, at the end of the day, if you're not being used, if you're not being like, it's a business. The point is to make money. Like, come on, man. Like, everyone's suddenly the world's biggest fan. I didn't even know half those names.
I was legitimately surprised about Gigi.
Yeah, me too.
I'm also legitimately surprised that Nikita Lyons has survived another day. Because
you know what?
she brings nothing to the table.
She's tugging somebody.
Well, yeah. Well, other than she can be a corn star without doing the corn, because she's only got 3 things she's good for, and she most certainly has nothing to do with whatever she does inside of the ring.
Right. But honestly, when they release you, I think a lot of these guys will probably end up in TNA, which has got here's the other thing. I think they're going to be taking a lot of talent from TNA in the coming months. Like, you're going to get Joe Hendry and probably a bunch of other, like, they took Jordan Grace already. What if the releases are just WWE's way of like trading to TNA?
Yeah. Wouldn't we get some sort of indication of that, seeing as though they're a publicly traded company?
No, I don't think so. You got to release them because TNA is not, it's not part of WWE. So you release them and
yeah. I mean, listen, the only reason we stopped getting this for a little while, the spring cleaning, was because Vince thought it looked bad to the shareholders, which is why you went from 2014 until COVID, where no one got released.
Yeah.
The roster was jam packed with people, and no one just got released, and then they cut everybody, during the pandemic. So this is kind of normal. You have to. It sucks. No one ever wants to see anybody go, even if they're not being used. But one, it's good for the talent because look at the extreme opposite of what happens over in AEW, where you've got people essentially wasting the prime years of their career standing around catering. If they're not using you, it's better to let you go and let you figure some new stuff out, get a little experience. Again, the Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes approach, even Cardona. And then again, there is TNA. We've said it 1,000 times in this show. If I'm a younger kid and I'm released, I'm not going to AEW. I'm trying to go to TNA. And you never know when you're going to get released, and TNA seems to be able to use a lot of people very differently to the best of their ability with a very limited budget. And now you have this partnership. And so it's, essentially, listen, for the time being, TNA is essentially a minor league for the WB right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if Gigi and Cora Jade and whoever else wanted to pop over in TNA, especially where the girls are better used. Oh, I was surprised by Shayna Baszler, but I'm also slightly baffled as to how Triple H was not able to rehab Shayna Baszler, because all she needed was a couple of big wins. / you could have leveraged her as a manager, and because she was a great manager when she was on ROH. So I just don't understand how they weren't able to fix that. You got over 6 hours of TV, and you don't really get a lot of people on it, but you're outside of the main event scene. The women's division is absolute trash. The women's division is absolute trash, and the tag division is absolute trash. So I'm just a little confused as to how you're not able to use people that you have in your primetime slots more effectively when you need to be.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I said we break for $50. Kevin Apollo doesn't. Just so you know, he just
You wait until I'm done.
No, we wait until you're done. Regina Sharp for $50 says WWE can't trade them formally, so they probably released those they weren't using, who they thought TNA would likely glomp up. More or less likely, Marv was saying it's a risk, but a solid one. That it is very possible. But by the way, thank you very much, Regina Sharp. We very much appreciate your continued support.
Because I'm Flint Hardcore, I'm gold, and I always will be.
But Kev, I think you're right on the money. It's basically, I've always kind of seen it as a challenge. WWE has proven they are more than willing to take you back once you go out there and redefine yourself. Now, look, Braun, I understand Braun. The guy can barely move. Like it's hard. He can't even really do the train anymore because he can't really move.
He has bad neck, bad hips.
Yeah.
Came into the business a little too late, if you ask me. Wasn't he like doing some other stuff before professional wrestling? Maybe some arm wrestling and
he was doing the strongman powerlifting stuff, and he thought he was going to break through. He just,
I think I know.
In a different era, he probably would have been a bigger name, but
I think I know who might be the next person released. I'm going to go with Keanu Carver. Who said these MFs ain't ready for TS. They dick eating these Samoan MFs who think they like that, who be voting for Trump and ain't really like that.
What?
I'm pretty sure somewhere in there he insulted Roman Reigns, and that's not really going to endear you to management.
No.
What gave it away? The Samoan name? The Samoan word?
I think he's just counting on Tripp being entirely too white to understand any of that.
Yeah. You know, you're talking about Roman because it's the Samoans and the Trump thing, because we're supposed to be angry at Roman for making a personal choice.
Yeah.
Who is Keanu Carver anyway? Like, when did he?
I don't really. It's an NXT guy, I believe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these guys are coming up from like the NIL or LFG or whatever, and they think they're somebody already, and they start making these dumbass tweets. I got a question for both of you, by the way. With the when you get released from the WWE, do you guys think it's wise to go on Twitter and say anything?
No,
I mean anything.
No.
No, you go out there and you say, "Hey, what a wild ride it is. Maybe I'm disappointed, but you know what? I'm gonna work and get better." And because that's what they want to hear. They want you to take it as a challenge,
right?
Yes. First of all, there are lots of different reasons why someone can be released, and it could come down to something as simple as this one particular person didn't really see it, and they had a little more stroke than the other 5 people. But guess what? In 3 weeks, that one person may be assigned to someplace different, and you'll be able to come back in 10 months.
Right. As AEW Neckbeard says, he's AEW's next game changer.
But when you go and flame everybody, you're not coming back anytime soon. You're just not. It's insane. And what's crazy is
so he's on Evolved. That's it. He's on WWE Evolved.
God, so whatever. That work. So the NXT kids have social media coaches. Their social media accounts get graded weekly, and I think that also does follow you up into your first year in the main roster. So, like, you're told very specifically what you can and cannot, what you should and should not should be doing with your social media. And it can cost you your job. Yeah, they grade you. They want to see how well you're engaging, how well you're applying what they're teaching you. Just so they grade you. They're very active in developing your media training, which is why you rarely ever see WWE people make silly mistakes. Yeah,
that specific mistake.
Yep.
Yeah, Kev elaborated on this beautifully on Alt Jake's Spaces on Sunday, I believe. You had talked about how the NXT students work, I believe, from, like you said, 8 to 5, 8 to 6:30, and they get graded. It's a full work day for these people, which was surprising for me to hear.
Yeah. Their only real day off is Sunday.
Crazy. They work more than the AW wrestlers. Like,
absolutely.
How can that be?
But that's why they're so much better. You think about it. If you're at AW, they don't do house shows, and if you're not on TV, and if you're not doing indies, you're working once maybe every 6 weeks if you're not a known entity.
Right. Oh,
that's true. Yeah. So now also, when you are part of that team, I mean, you're a representative of the company. This guy's account was called like Keanu Carver WWE was his handle. I say was because Keanu Carver deletes account after racial tweets following WWE releases. Following WWE's release of over 15 talents yesterday, including Dakota Kai, Cora Jade, Braun Strowman, and others, roster member Keanu Carver expressed his discontent through several controversial social media posts before ultimately deleting his account. Screenshots of his comments remain accessible when searching his name on the platform. Carver appeared particularly upset about one specific talent's release, referring to them as a real one in a subsequent post. Carver made comments that appeared to reference racial tensions and political views among certain wrestlers. Let's see. To say, it doesn't have all of them, but so yeah, we saw the worst of it. I mean, what he said, like specifically about the Samoans, like that is a racial comment, which should not be, and they're gonna see it that way.
And it's so funny because he looks like 6 or 7 guys to begin with. This Keanu Carver guy's like,
why would you ever say something? Why would you ever say something like that when you know that Jacob Fatu exists in this world?
He doesn't know any better.
He really must not.
What do you think he did before professional wrestling? Is like any idea of what he used to do? Play basketball, football.
But listen, you're on Evolve, right? Which means you are glorified indie. you're getting an education, even if you're not 110% NXT kid. Clearly, someone had a problem with listening and applying what was being told to him.
Right.
I get it. It's you're emotional, but you don't you ignored all lessons about the business of doing business.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one person in all of wrestling who has never been fired. Think about it, even Vince McMahon's been fired.
True.
John Cena is the only person to never be fired.
Triple H was not fired.
Well, I guess no, but he got fired from WCW.
That's true.
So John Cena is the only person never to be fired in wrestling at a high level. So
yeah, because even Shawn, the Rockers were fired.
Yep.
So
everybody gets fired. It's just it's just the nature of the beast. This is the nature of the beast.
That's the thing. You can't be. People seem to think that if you work there, you are entitled to work there forever. But no, guys. But here's the thing: everyone has an opinion on who should go where and why this happened. And that brings us to a little segment called "That's Dave for You." Well, that's Brian for you, but let's see what Dave and Brian do.
Dakota Kai is gone.
Yeah, I think that when I first saw that name, my first thought is, okay, this is the one that AEW should try to take.
That's exactly what AEW needs. Another person who's injured every day.
But she can heal every 6 weeks.
Time.
You only talk when I hit the play button.
Sorry.
No, what were you saying?
I forgot what I said.
He said she'll be healed every 6 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
First thought is, okay, this is the one that AEW should try to take. I know the last time that she got cut,
what is that hoodie that he's wearing? My God. That's the hoodie of somebody in their 20s. Stop it. You're
a Valley Girl chick, yeah.
That's a hoodie my girls made at summer camp last year.
Says Ocean City, Maryland on it.
Peace, love, and crabs at Joe's Crab Shack.
Hogan on the beach, brother.
She was talking to
Hogan on the beach. He's not allowed in there.
AEW, and I know she was talking to Stardom. And then she got called back and didn't go. But she had, I don't know how the details of how deep the conversations were with AEW, but I could think.
Why? Because you didn't ask? Because that's the only reason you wouldn't know. Like you text the man.
I think that it's one of those things where, we were ready to use her and then she ran right back and
wait, I'm sorry. Did he just say we were ready to use her?
Uh-huh.
Was he talking in terms of like, this is what AEW is saying, or is he now referring to AEW as we?
Probably both.
Oh my God.
He accidentally let the curtain slip a little bit.
Yeah, seriously. Sigmund Freud called. He wants to say, ha ha.
It's like that FBI agent in The Sopranos that is just like, we got him.
Yeah.
The kind of person that we want to invest that she's just waiting to run right back type of thing. And so I don't know. Obviously, I think TNA would take her in a heartbeat. She's good. She could help. There was
no one can help. Mercedes Monet did not move the needle. Edge did not move the needle. But yeah, Dakota Kai, she's the one that's going to do it.
There was,
I think he was
surprised.
He was what?
His last sentence was about TNA. Listen. I like Dakota Kai. I was disappointed the first. I was disappointed the first time they let her go, because the first half of her run, when she was with Tegan Knox, and then later with Raquel, she shined. And then when 2.0 happened, it all got derailed, and then she kept getting hurt. But outside of being Damage Control's weeb, it just wasn't clicking. It just wasn't happening. And it didn't help that she was getting injured. So I understand them kind of going, well, we're not really doing much right now.
Right.
It's just so it's like, but what good is she going to do in AEW? How does she help AEW? I see how she can be helpful in TNA because she can take everything she learned in the WWE and give it to the TNA kids, but or talent. But we already know the AEW's got Jerry Lynn. They had Tully Blanchard. They had Arn Anderson. They have Billy Gunn. They had Mark Henry. They have the Big Show. Who else is there? The oh God, they had a veritable
Bryan
cornucopia
Danielson.
yeah, they had a veritable cornucopia of legends, of legends, Hall of Famers, and moneymakers, and they don't listen to them. So what is the girl who had a short successful run on the competition going to teach them that they're going to be willing to hear?
Right. They're not willing to hear anything. So let's keep going.
This is with her name. Again, with most of the people who were cut, I didn't really sense that there was a surprise. It was just kind of sadness that they were cutting a lot of people. And most of the people that were cut were people that weren't really being used. And Dakota hadn't been used in a couple of weeks, but, she went to the finals with that tournament with Lyra Valkyria, for the North American or Intercontinental title, actually. And I think that, she's good. I think she could be.
He is saying this. Is he turning into Tony Khan now? Because he's just saying the same thing over and over again.
I think that she could be beneficial to anyone across the board. There's not a lot of money in Stardom. I think she would do really well there. I don't know what the budget would be as far as using her. They want women who will go.
How many times has he said in the last, what is it, like 2 minutes that we've been watching this?
I know.
Just listen to how many times he says it's more than he says
there at a relatively inexpensive price and go there for a long period of time, like a month, and she might very well do that. But I would think TNA would find a spot for her. I would think that of all the names that were released, I think that she is the one that would be the best percentage bet for AEW. But
to do what?
What is she gonna do? Go in there and job to Mercedes Monet?
Really?
Yeah, exactly. What?
Like, I'm sorry. Look, women's wrestling is a draw now. It's not, it's not the 80s anymore. They're not an attraction anymore. But I'm sorry, there's no woman that's going to go onto that roster and change anything.
No.
And on the flip side, Marv, I just now thought about Britt Baker. It's just like where she's standing all this. She can't go to the WWE because they just got rid of people who I believe are better than her in the ring.
There's no way she goes to WWE.
I don't think so either.
I think once her contract runs out, because Tony's done with her. Once her contract, because Mercedes was done with her. Once her contract runs out, I think Tony just lets the contract expire so he doesn't have to fire her, and then she goes back to being a dentist. Like at the end of the day, that's not a huge financial loss. It's just the loss of your dream.
I think it depends on how petty Triple H is feeling. I can see Triple H turning, because Vince did this to him. I can see Triple H turning around and taking Tony's pet project and going, I can actually make her a star. And they sign her and they do something with her. Now, it's just a matter of, is she actually good enough for it? That's up for debate. But I could see them experimenting with it just for the headlines alone.
Right. All right. Let's see what else Dave has to say.
I mean, I don't know if what happened before will, make that one difficult or not. But she's good. And I think that
yes, thank you, Dave. We get that you think she's good. You've said it 18 times.
Oh, so is Dave admitting that Tony is so insecure and so petty that he can't understand why she went back?
Yes.
After being unceremoniously fired and then immediately brought back when management changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating.
I think so. I think so. I think Tony would probably hold a grudge or something like that. But I mean, I've never met the man, but just based on what we've heard and all those things, I said now. Now I'm going to be cognizant of that.
As far as there was some talk of her being injury prone, in WWE.
There it is again.
But when these things happen,
there it is again.
You're always going to have a label. I mean, she did have a knee injury just recently. She's had some, she's had some injuries. Everyone gets hurt in wrestling, and I haven't heard any
tremendous insight from the expert Dave Meltzer. Everybody gets hurt.
Sense. I mean, put it this way: the last time I saw her wrestle, she didn't look slow. She looked good. So.
Yes, she's good. We get it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I was like, do you think he thinks she's good?
I don't know. The jury's still out. He might have to say it 15 more times for me to really get the message.
Before we change, sorry. Listen. Yes, I do think it's kind of unfair when people get labeled as snake bitten or injury prone. But the reality of it is she is on the smaller side of the girls. So just like Mercedes, they are more apt to getting injured because of the schedule that gets kept. And when you go down, it's very inconvenient because you have a lot of time that needs to be filled. So it is something that they do have to think about. What happens if we put this IC title on her, and 3 weeks into her run, she's got to go down for 8 weeks? And I don't remember how old she is, but the only thing that is undefeated is Father Time. So the older you get, the more hurt you get, the more time you need.
Right. Absolutely.
I would actually recommend hiring her. I have not heard.
So do it when you text Tony later.
Heard anything that would make me think that she would have that WWE attitude in AEW. You never know.
I'm sorry, the WWE attitude in AEW. What does that even mean?
Is that right?
That's the attitude of, oh, you guys don't do things correctly over here or in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, they got that WWE attitude where they want everything to make sense and they want everything to work.
Right. They want a clean house before they walk into it.
No, and like I say, like when it comes to hiring people from WWE, AEW really
that WWE attitude where they come in and they want to actually work like this is a job and not just that we're here to have fun.
Right. What do you mean we go to the stadium at 4 p.m.?
AEW really should be cautious because so many of them have done more damage than good, but some of them have obviously been, very beneficial. So
I'm assuming we're talking about Punk.
She's one I would go for.
Yeah, that's got to be the one that's done more damage. Is Punk? That's who he has to think has done more damage here.
I've seen some people talk about how Punk was supposed to save Cora Jade's ass, like he was supposed to save her job. Give me a break. Do you people know how business anybody out there got a job? That's not how it works in any real profession or even in professional wrestling.
Well, listen, and that's the thing. Right? Fine, yeah. She has a relationship. She has a nice little mentor relationship with CM Punk, right? So when she gets sent home, I'm sure they talk, and he gives her the "Hey, this happens to everybody at some point in time" speech. Go figure out what you got to go figure out, and we'll see what happens in a couple of months. Because you can be released and brought back 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later because someone had an idea. Oh shit, you explain what it is. Who would be good for this? Oh, you know what? What's Cora doing?
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So Dave also sounded off on a lot of the people that were fired. So he says that many of the WWE NXT releases were reportedly people who were perceived as not working hard in training. Many of those cut were, perceived as, working hard and not working hard in training, and if you don't work hard in training, there's so many people who, do. And at this point, if the feeling is that you're not, working hard in, training, I saw the term, lazy. The ones who are, lazy are going to be gone, and the, ones, who, didn't, stand, out, are going to be gone. Unbelievable.
So So I read this and got irritated.
Oh, I know you did.
So I went out of my way to call some friends who could get me in contact with some people. I'm for the sake of anonymity, I won't say who, but I spoke to 3 NXTers. 2 of them were actually in the program. The feedback was all the same. No one was really given a very specific answer. But at no point in time was it ever alluded to that anybody was released because they were lazy.
Right.
And this wasn't a thing. And listen, I have heard horror stories about what happens when someone thinks you're lazy. They make sure you know it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're safe enough to remove this. When Kevin Owens got there, Vince was so disgusted by his physique that he had him doing Suzanne Summers step block drills.
Right.
Just
step
step into the
aerobics?
oldies. Yeah, doing step aerobics. Doing step aerobics when because he was in an advanced class. So he's like, keep him moving. They let you know when they don't like something. They openly discussed Cassius Ohno often. So it's like we're talking like straight up indie darlings who you would think should be safe. So they're not wasting time and BSing with a couple of kids they brought in, for the next in line what's the indie one called? It's like if you're there to work or not, and if you're not there to work, you're getting drummed out pretty fast.
Right. Well, Gigi and Cora Jade both responded to Dave Meltzer here. So Gigi Dolan says, when I wasn't traveling for work for either of the 2 companies I was working for, I trained very hard 3 to 4 days a week, bumping my ass off and doing cardio drills with one of the best toughest coaches I've ever worked with, and worked out every single day with live events every other weekend. So yeah, I don't want to hear this. The way my body feels says otherwise. And I don't blame them for firing back on this. Now, Cora fired back as well. She said, oh goodness, that's really small. Hold on. I'll just read it to you guys.
But I have the picture of the things together.
It's all right. I got it here. She says, this plus can't forget having to go to my own gym outside of work after strength and conditioning. That wasn't doing anything for me other than getting me body shamed by my bosses, coworkers, and fans. Crazy. Body shame. I hate that word.
I know you know these NXT talent, so I'm not going to go real hard in the paint on them. But I will say, for all this bumping their ass off, I hear no talk of, hey, I was trying to develop my character. I was trying to really get good with how I was doing promos or anything like that. Where's that talk?
Oh, well, I think if he had mentioned that, they would have talked about it. What Dave did was, he crossed the line as far as I'm concerned, because he's a bullshit artist who doesn't have any connections. He's just pulling this out of his ass. Okay. But he put something out into the ether that could potentially impact how their personal character and how people view them in terms of being a viable asset. Because you're when you say someone's lazy, you're telling me that I can't trust them, that they're not worth the investment. So so even your shindy promoter is going to be a little worried about wanting to bring someone in. Is it worth the money? Are they going to be paid in the butt? So this dude said something that could have destroyed someone's career. So he needed to be called out. And it's really just by virtue of the fact that the social media team says don't engage with idiots that he doesn't get hammered more. I personally think he should get hammered more. But that's also why all these outlets are not going to be allowed, in the press conferences anymore, because it's easier to ignore them and freeze them out than have to worry about someone needing to respond to them. But this was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And here's the other part of it too, because all the white knights that got all creepy and shit and mad that they said what they said. It's an aesthetic business first and foremost. The condition of your body is the first indication of your credibility as a talent. If you look like a star, you are treated like a star. Wrestling ability has very little to do with being a wrestling star. Is it very helpful? 110%. But you can even go back. I don't know where Brett was. I actually meant to send it to this so that we could watch it. But Bret Hart a couple weeks ago was at some kind of convention, and he was talking about people based off of their promo, their in ring, and their look. And he talked about, I think it was someone like Austin. He gave Austin a 9 on promo, I think a 9 on promo, a 9 on look, and like an 8 on ability. And so to kind of help you understand like why this person was a star. And Brett gave himself like a 6 on promo, an 8 on in ring, and a 7 on his look. So like just to kind of help like kind of understand like how people are kind of looking at this stuff. So like yes, there's a reason why Lex Luger is in the Hall of Fame. You know, there's a reason why like Batista at his age got the push he got because people don't look like Batista. You know.
Right.
So but these girls, because the female body is a little bit harder to get to a certain space and not have it be detrimental to their health. These girls had to work very hard to be in a certain kind of shape, and not have it work against them. So that say shit like that really pisses me off, man. And I just don't understand why people let these assholes get away with stuff like this.
Marv, can you pull that tweet back up? Maybe I missed something because I understand where Kevin's coming from. The one about where he said the body shaming, or excuse me, not the body shaming.
I already closed it down, I think.
Okay, no problem. But
no, I do have it. Hold on one second. Let me put that back up.
Yeah, see, that was a caveat that I missed, Kev, and
yeah, this plus can't forget having to go to my own gym outside of work after strength and conditioning that wasn't doing anything for me other than getting me body shamed by my boss's coworkers and fans.
Okay.
I hate when wrestlers use the word body shaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm sorry, it is a cosmetic job that you have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well,
there's a reason the driver from Speed isn't on the red carpet.
Yeah, but also, and fans were effing brutal to her. They were effing brutal to her. I for one, I could not understand it. I couldn't understand it, but you know, they picked on her for having like a minuscule amount of pudge by where the skin tight vinyl outfit was clinging, because that's how human bodies look. And yes, her bosses are going to be really harsh on her because guess what? That's what they're paid to do. So like she went the extra mile. She dropped the extra money, and she got the extra help. That's not lazy. That is a slavish dedication to your craft. It is to be commended. That's also I'm actually a little surprised that she was gone too, even though she did have a really tough time with ill-timed injuries. But I do think that, you know, she's going to be another one who pops over to TNA.
As Dakota Kai.
But now, the last thing I wanted to really say about this is, you know, there were a lot of women on this release. And of course, everybody is saying that's because WWE is sexist. No, it's that the NXT women are so good right now that they have to clear the runway because they're all coming up. Stephanie Vacker, Julia, all these ladies are coming up to the main roster, and there's got to be room for them because they are going to be the new elite. Like, I legitimately think they're going to be the biggest stars in wrestling within the next 5 years.
People like Roxanne, Julia, Stephanie Vacker. I saw Roxanne face Io Sky last night. The match was fucking awesome. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Roxanne's got something going on. I learned a little something about Roxanne. Apparently, she wasn't very well liked in the NXT locker room. But obviously she's at the main roster, so you know somebody higher up likes her. But she's doing pretty well.
Wait, I'm seeing this in the chat. Gigi was the tampon girl?
Yeah. That was in Australia.
Oh,
Wait,
it's like
she did the
wor-
tampon spot?
The worst spot ever. Wasn't it like she put it in someone's mouth or something? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was dipped in Kool-Aid.
I know that it wasn't actual blood, but like that it made me sick to my stomach. I hated that spot so much.
I mean, listen, we live in an AEW world. You do have to specify. You don't know,
right?
Well, that's true. I mean, we saw Swerve Strickland get a needle a hypodermic needle to the gums.
Right. It wasn't a push
in a cage match. Like that's the weirdest thing ever. But yeah, guys, that's it as far as the releases go. But we do have a little bit more, a little more Dave.
Oh,
so let's see what else he has to say.
And then we had Jey Uso and Seth Rollins for the world title. And
With his son's
I thought
shirt
this
on.
match.
Now, by the way, this is everyone is raving about this Seth Rollins Jey Uso match. It's widely believed to be. I think I saw I think Alfred Canua called it like a SummerSlam level match. So
yeah, it was. I hated the finish, but it was a phenomenal match.
By the end was excellent. I mean, it was just kind of a raw match early, but the last few minutes ended up getting quite great.
They had a lot of heat for the near falls at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth's great, I mean, he's great. And but I mean, it was still like, lots of interference and lots of distractions. And, I mean, it was, but it worked.
I'm sorry, lots of interference and lots of distractions. And AEW does 82 run-ins a night.
Oh my God. But yeah. You mean he had two managers who were doing manager spots?
Well, Braun grabs his foot, and so out comes Sami Zayn. And he comes down to the ring, and Seth ends up distracted. He eats a super kick, a spear, and the splash. Super kick, spear, and splash, and he kicks out of it. And the fans chant, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, what's was bad. This was bad. Is Michael Cole on a couple of near falls that looked like the finish just does the whole thing where he basically tells you it's not the finish.
He does it all the time.
I mean, it was.
I'm sorry, you praise Excalibur regularly, and you're coming from Michael Cole right now.
Well, I don't understand what he means by that.
I don't either.
I wish he had some context for it.
Because he wasn't selling it the way Vince sold every 2 count. He got him. No.
We need Beard. I know Beard. Beard knows. You gotta go back. It's a Raw match. It's Razor. No, it's Razor and Kid versus Shawn and Diesel, and it has the single greatest Vince missed the call segment ever. You get all the Vinceisms. And he's like, it's like he glitched, because by the time he's done running through them, they are in an entirely different spot, but he can't stop himself.
It was.
That's why I avoided the part in the promo from Pat McAfee where he said that Michael Cole was the GOAT.
He did say that, but it's like, it's not Michael Cole. This is how they teach in WWE. Every announcer does it, but Michael Cole is
the one who teaches in WWE.
Jackass.
He's been there since 1997.
He was a war correspondent.
He's never gotten fired from WWE. How about that?
That's true. He has not.
That's true. He has not.
Because he's indoctrinated in the system.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things he does that I don't think he can help himself anymore. But goddamn, it's like
like it's the Reapers.
Michael Cole
assuming control of this form. Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3. Oh, he kicked out.
Oh, I don't have that clip anymore on here.
He can help himself. That's not a hard habit to break. But I mean, it's like nobody.
Do you know that from all your announcing experience, Dave? You can't put 2 sentences together, written or spoken.
Tells him to not do it because it's the way. This is what Vince McMahon teaches, and Vince McMahon knows all and all that. And Vince kind of did the same thing when he was an announcer. Well, he did.
He did the stupid 1-2. That's it, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
this
I
is-
understand, like doing it every now and then is fine. But like when you do it every single time, it's like you always know. It's like when the guy looks at the referees, he's counting. It's
Right.
like you always know it kills.
Wait, are they talking about Michael Cole when like the finish will be hit and he'll be like, match is over, match is over, match is over, and then they kick out? Is that what they?
Yeah, if they're talking about that, they'd be on point. Because Michael Cole is notorious for doing that shit.
Yeah, Michael Cole.
but he's
is
selling the
voice
2
of
count.
fan. Yeah, Michael Cole is the voice of the fan who's watching because the 8-year-old thinks it's over.
Yep,
that's true.
Kills the drama of the finish when the announcer tells you it's over, and you know it's not over.
You know it's not.
And then the guy looks at the referee. You know he's going to kick out.
What should they just be like? Oh, he hit his finisher, but it's all right, guys. Don't worry about it. We're still going. We got a lot of baseball left to be played here. Like,
Yeah,
you
he
have
looked
to
at the
sell the 2
referee, guys. What the fuck are you talking about?
The point of it is that you have to make it seem like it can end anytime. Oh no, guys, it's just the 5th finisher of the match. It's going to take at least 6 more.
Yeah, he killed the near falls. The difference, I was thinking about this because Vince was the first one to do it, but the reason he wasn't as bad was because in those days, 90% of your TV matches were squashed, so he didn't do it in those matches. He only did it in some matches, like the pay-per-view matches. And also, the audience wasn't.
Matches is one of those words that I hate hearing Dave Meltzer say.
Oh God, I know. Well, listen, we also need to be honest too. Back then, I for life of me cannot fathom how Vince Sr. survived the Crockett's because the Vince Sr. played a lot of old men who didn't want to bump on that mega hard ring. That's why they punched and kicked, and their bumping was we're gonna drop to our knees really slow and then lay sideways.
Right.
Vince couldn't do it because they moved so goddamn slow that the seasons changed by the time someone was flat on their back.
Wasn't nearly as sophisticated then as it is now. So they don't pick up on those. They didn't pick up on those patterns. I mean, Vince did it, and it's like I knew it, but most people didn't. But
I'm so ahead of the curve, Brian. I knew everything. I know everything. I'm the greatest of all time.
Now, everyone knows when you say for the win, it means he's kicking out.
No, not everyone,
they don't.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
No, they don't.
Golly, he swears everybody's just as a big of a smart mark as he is, and that's just not.
I legitimately think he is convinced that the way he thinks is the way everyone who actually is right thinks.
And he killed some of the near falls by doing that. I mean,
what would you prefer that he do, Dave?
Stay quiet.
He can't answer that question. There is no suggestion,
especially the one where it really could have been the win.
Well, what I didn't really, I thought this match was like excellent, but the one complaint
it was an excellent match. Yeah.
The one complaint I had is when Jay hit like his moves. I mean, super kick, spear, splash off the top, Seth kicks out, and then at the end, they have all the schmaz and bronze hair killing dudes and spearing this guy and that guy, and Seth ends up hitting the stomp, and like he's got the win. He's going to win the title.
Oh, I know. And he doesn't cover him when the music hits.
And CM Punk comes out and the place goes wild and they end up going. They didn't even call for the bell.
I'm sorry. Are you really going to go into leaps of logic? Look, at the end of the day, I might even be able to meet you halfway on this, but your argument is invalidated by the way that you goon for AEW.
Yep. Can I give you a perfect example, gentlemen? A few weeks ago, Moxley and the Death Riders came out, and I believe they attacked some schmuck. I can't remember who it was. They were about to put the boots to him. Music played, and they all scattered out of the ring. All it took was the music for them to play, and they all rolled. It didn't take even – it might have been Powerhouse Hobbs. I can't remember. But, like, give me a break, Dave. It happens in AEW all the fucking time.
Yep.
By the way, CM Punk just hits ring with the –
God.
I was like, but Punk came out with a chair and immediately hit Breaker with it.
Right.
So Rollins is in this death feud with him. Of course he's concerned. They've been trying to kill each other for 2 years now.
This goes wild. And they end up going. They didn't even call for the bell, by the way. CM Punk just hits the ring with a chair, and like it's over. There's no bell. There's no announcement. But my point is this. My point is this.
Yeah.
Seth is the star. He's the bigger star of the two.
Yes.
And I just felt like Braun should have like done something when Jay hit that super kick spear, big splash. It's like Seth kicking out of it and then having the match won when somebody ran in to interfere. I just felt like it kind of made Jay look like a weak champion. The last thing you need is for Jay to look like a weak champion because he.
Listen to Dave glomming onto any criticism that he can give. Like as Brian says, it did. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm with Alvarez on this one. Because the only thing I didn't like about this match was the finish.
Well, but infinitely more happens on AEW that's more ridiculous, and they say nothing.
Yep.
Because he kind of is a weak champion. Like he got it for Yeaton. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think I think they should have had something after that big splash.
I agree with Alvarez on that one. He did get it. If he never said yeet, he's not world champion right now.
But that's
if
like
he never started yeeting, this doesn't happen.
Okay, so that's like saying if Austin never said Austin 316, I just whooped your ass. Motherfucker,
Probably
that's
not.
the job, is to get over. He got over.
Yeah. But he got over from yeet.
Yeah.
But the thing was, there was more to Austin.
Rock
Austin
putting him an eyebrow.
It was the finger flipping, it was the beer drinking, it was the cussing, it was all of that. Austin 316 just kind of solidified it. That became a good marketing thing. I think Austin.
You know what
still
the problem
happens
is,
without
Marv?
316.
You know what the problem is, Marv? You're not 18 anymore.
Yeah, so that's
okay. You're not
16
anymore. We're old men. We're looking at. I've said it so many times. Jey Uso is like today's Ultimate Warrior. He's going to be an acquired taste, but you've got to also understand why the man is over. It is because of the. But let's not give that too much weight because the man was in a main event program for about 2.5, 3 years. So his face was out there.
He's been main event Jey Uso for 4.5 years. It's like stop pretending like you know. Why is that bitch-made soy boy cowboy supposed to allegedly be a main eventer? I don't understand why he's there. How is he elite? He didn't jump on the train until the goddamn train was parked in the station.
Mm-hmm.
He got there late. Why are you supposed to give him the same amount of credence as the other jackasses? At least I'll give the Bucks this. They were there from day one with Cody with all the dumb internet shit. Like it's the same.
Hangman was there too. Hangman was there,
but way later. He came in way later at the end. Like the house was already built. Hangman showed up to put the welcome mat down.
All right, let's see what else they have to say.
Where like somebody pulled the ref out of the ring or put the foot on the rope behind the ref's back or something.
Oh, God.
Something.
Yeah.
It was too clean.
The pull the ref out of the ring thing is pretty lame too, but
stop.
The thing that was sort of the lamest is, like you said, Seth has a
No, they should have hit the ref with a cinder block.
That's right.
Dude, the referees get bumped in AEW. They get fucking shoulder tapped, and they go down like a ton of bricks.
And that's if they're paying attention to what the hell is
about
happening.
to cover the
Right.
Yeah, Rick Knox, you could cheat right in front of him. He didn't care.
guy, and they play the music. And Punk ain't gonna get there in 3 seconds. You know what I mean? No matter how hard he sprints, he could just.
The point is that he hates CM Punk, Dave. The point is he doesn't like him. And when he appears, there is nothing. It's tunnel vision. He hates him so much. There is nothing but malice in his heart. He forgets to go for the pin because he hates this man so much. It's called storytelling.
There you go. And folks, that's why no one watches AEW, because they don't know how to tell a story. First of all, we haven't talked about it yet, but what in the blue hell is going on with this man's hairline?
Oh, I know.
He looks like someone was spray painting NWO in his head, and the can was half empty. This man doesn't understand even the most basic foundations of storytelling, so he can't connect with it. because it's not a couple of Japanese guys smash each other in the face for 45 minutes, only to have the match end with a random small package.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Just covered him, and if at least Jimmy kicks out or Jay kicks out, it's like at least he kicked out, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't. But Rollins just looks like a goof.
Also, why would you go for the cover while the music's playing? The camera's going to be focused on Punk. Are you going to ignore him coming out to go for the pin? Because shut up, Dave. It's so stupid.
Shut up.
So ridiculous.
Because he's like paralyzed by the music and doesn't even go for the pin when in theory this title is for the taking at this point.
Yes. But I mean, as far as like the match and especially like the heat
was great.
I mean, the thing with the heat is like it started out, it was fine. And then they started doing near falls and it gets really good. And then it all.
Do you have a question?
In the history of all of wrestling, and I'm going to preface this with, if this has ever happened, the place it probably would have ever happened would have been in Memphis. So that said, in the history of all of wrestling, when your rival's music hits, has there ever been an instance where anybody ever went for the pinfall?
Just ignored it, just pretended it didn't happen?
Yeah, ever.
Like looks at the entranceway, then looks at their watch, judges the length of the ramp, and is like, I got 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 more seconds. Jesus.
Oh, I don't understand. You're in a sleeper hold. Why would you let your hand drop twice before bringing it up? I mean, like, why wouldn't if you're still conscious? Why wouldn't you just bring it up on the first drop, Brian?
Imagine not trying to sell somebody's entrance.
Could you imagine that? I mean, this guy throws you at the ropes. Why would you just turn and hit them with your back? That's not like how you do it in real life, Brian. Because it was real life. No. What you're supposed to do in real life is crazy dance moves and gymnastics and stiff kicks. Stiff kicks,
all built to that big spot where they finally hit CM Punk's music. And man, they hit that guy's music, and this place went insane.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Right.
That's why they do it.
CM Punk's music.
They didn't expect that he was going to be there.
No, they went absolutely wild. And then he hit the ring and ran wild. And then they did the thing when the show went off the air to set up that other match. So they got a lot of irons in the fire, as they say.
Yep.
And, I think the other reason they did the match on this show, I mean, they should have announced it in advance. But this is kind of their deal where we got a pay-per-view.
What are you smoking?
See, Raw is in a very sweet spot right now. They have the ability to not really do what AEW doesn't do, and that's promote every fucking match that you have to promote. When you go on Raw and you see maybe between 8 o'clock and 8:30 that Seth Rollins is going to be facing Jey Uso, that's the only marketing that you really need. You've already got him there. You can excite more people to come join the show because you got another hour and a half before that main event happens. With AEW, you don't find out anything until the match is actually happening. Hey, guess what? Just Adam Cole is facing Daniel Garcia. What?
When Hitman's music played in Montreal in 2005, HBK should just kept talking and laugh.
Really.
Who's your daddy, Montreal?
See, that's what AEW does. We have to hold you hostage marketing versus WWE. People go to Raw and SmackDown and these PLEs for the WWE experience. Whoever you get on the roster is a happy bonus at this point. Right. People just want the WWE experience. So you can set up Jay versus Seth in the first 20 minutes of the show, and people will lose their minds for it.
Right.
Versus you can't AEW where you cannot do that. And they have to spend weeks hyping up a match that no one gives two shits about. When you go into a PLA, if maybe both titles, if both world titles have something going and maybe one other match, it carries the weight. going into the big pay-per-view.
Yeah.
AEW's got to regale you with 4,000 5-minute explanations on why you need to watch this match, this one particular match you're not going to remember in 2 hours.
If you remember back in 1998, there was a great match that happened on Monday Night Raw, wasn't advertised, and it actually beat Nitro in the ratings. That was the end of the 82 weeks. And that was when Vince McMahon was challenged by Stone Cold Steve Austin in Philadelphia for the World Championship. That's something you're not going to put on a week before, like, hey, look what we're going to be doing.
Hey, and remember what happened in that match, Awful? When they were circling, and then all of a sudden, Dude Loves Music hit, and they stopped?
Exactly. They stood there frozen like, what the hell is going on? Because that's what you do. You sell the entrance to the ring, especially if it's going to be a run-in like that. I mean, come on now. Come on, wrestling fans, get it together.
How many times we've said it? Wrestling is and again, I mean this in the positive. Wrestling is the lowest common denominator. It is visceral emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bingo.
Nobody sold tickets with a wrist lock.
Coming, and we got 5 matches. So we're going to do one big match. Like, there's no world title match on this show. There's just undisputed title. So we do the world title match on TV for free. They'll probably do some big match on SmackDown for free, too.
Okay,
yeah, no
Brian,
shit.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Great. Wonderful insights.
Neckbeard pointed it out also. He said, I'm tired of people like praising Brian now just because he all of a sudden is saying the things that everyone has said for years, and now he's being praised as being brave for actually daring to say them.
The beautiful thing about those guys is because they have such a big following, it's going to be allowable. It's going to be on record. Like, they're the ones that are going to get the mainstream, if you want to call it mainstream. They're the ones that are going to get the mainstream appeal on those types of opinions.
And by the way, this is not but AEW.
Right.
For like when like you offer up critical responses to things that AEW does, and the AEW fans go, but WWE. The reason the but AEW works here is because these guys are making excuses for AEW constantly and being so much more harsh on WWE, and it's bias, it's media bias, and that's what I find so reprehensible.
But you have direct compare and contrast versus when it's the other way around. We're grasping at straws to justify. They're justifying why we're bad at this thing by trying to say, well, this was worse or just as bad.
Right.
And a lot of some of the things that they said, I actually agree with. But at the end of the day, it's a situation where you're saying this, but then when this other company does it, you don't say it. It's because, well, we're interested in Dakota Kai.
We yelled down a long, big, gigantic pipe. We yelled these kind of opinions, and now it's just being echoed back to us. It came back, and then it's in the form of Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez.
Yeah. All right. So also recently, Meltzer said this. So somebody said, so they're just signing new deals. So they're talking about the AAA guys, right? They're talking about the AAA guys are all signing new deals. So they're just signing new deals. So they are under the WWE banner. And was Del Rio part of that group that signed a WWE deal? And he goes, yes, new contracts. Alberto has signed with WWE. Well, full details per Lucha Blog. WWE has not given Alberto a new contract. AAA signed him when they decided to build the promotion around him over the past year, and WWE will inherit that contract when they take over the company. No new contract. As AEW Neckbeard, wise man of this show, says over here, 259.21 pesos, por favor. Just astounding. I love it. Just Dave eating shit again.
Yeah, I think Conan also clarified that Alberto Del Rio was not signed to the WWE on his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. And then
Dave
just in further news, finally one last Dave Meltzer thing. He says, if you usually watch Collision via DVR, you should check your settings because it's on TBS and not TNT. Tomorrow, my system was not recording it, so I had to manually do so.
So what?
And remember, it's your
isn't
fault if you miss Collision, not Tony or the network's fault. Does Dave ever give tips on how to not miss WWE programming? Asks AEW Neckbeards. Just phenomenal.
Say, isn't that a tweet that Tony should have put out?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's the same thing. It all comes from the same place.
Same thing, yes.
Yeah. It's like when you put French fries on your cheeseburger. It's all going to the same place.
The day somebody
it's the
reveals
same gaping anus talking.
Yeah.
The day that those secret emails between Dave and Tony come out, oh my goodness, because we know they're out there. Looking at stuff like this, it's easy to see that these guys talk to each other. When it's going to be official.
Do you mean the emails since AEW started, or the emails from back when Tony Khan was 13 in the chat rooms?
That too. That part too.
That was a joke, by the way, guys. That's not a thing that actually happened. We think
that we can prove.
Anyway,
right.
Anyway, guys, that's Dave for you. Awful. That's my favorite thing you've ever made.
Oh, thank you.
Bumper. I love it so much. Actually, no, that's a lie. My favorite thing you ever made was that thing with this thing with the Sopranos video. I think that was
yeah.
to me. That was like looking at the Picasso.
I appreciate that. We got to get voiceovers for those.
Yeah, I'll do them, dude. You just let me know and I'll do them. All right, so we got some super chats to get to. Andre Adams for $4.99 says a monkey escaped. That's the beginning of Outbreak.
It certainly is.
Regina Sharp for $5 says Marv doesn't know what a pony keg is. Obviously not a party monster. LOL. Yeah, no. Kevin's laughing because he knows. No, Marv is a stay at home in pajamas and watch a movie monster. Dial C4 for $2 says, how the hell did Nikita Lyons Big not get fired? That's the question we're all asking, right? John Williams 499 says, why aren't those freaks angry at Tony for hiring that child Adam Cole? It's illegal to have minors under contract. He really is just a toddler-sized human being.
I always think back to my father seeing him on that reality show where he was like, nah, you can't be serious, right? What? Like that's not a wrestler. That's someone pretending to be a wrestler, right?
He looks like Ariana Grande. He's so thin. CWJ 128 for $2 says TKO market cap is $33.2 billion. The IWC do not understand this. No, they don't understand business at all. They don't understand things like return on investment, profit margins. These are things that any business has to think about. Dial C4 for $2 says, can anyone translate what Keanu Carver posted?
No. I can. He said, I'm fired.
Yeah. He said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
PJ is 02D for $5 says the NFL cuts hundreds of players every year. It's a rough business. Don't want to see anyone lose a gig, but it comes with the territory. Yeah, and you got to think they know that, Like, man, thank God we didn't have Twitter in the late 90s. You see the Attitude Era guys. They would not have been crying like that. Regina Sharp for $10. Question for the group. Do you think it'd be a good idea for WWE to carve out a space for the non-top guys to be able to accept indie dates so they can get reps while active on the roster? I don't know. That's what AEW does, and it's bit them on the butt a couple times. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, they do that sometimes. Like, Shayna Baszler wrestled for GCW recently. A whole bunch of guys wrestled for GCW. So I think you're starting to see that, but maybe not like full on accept indie bookings.
I think what you're going to get is relationships with other companies. So I just got a feeling that New Japan, whatever the announcement is going to be at some time around the corner. They grabbed AAA, not just because they wanted it, but because they just need places for guys to go work. They're not done with the UK yet. So they're slowly building networks where you can let people go / they're gonna pick very specific larger indies from people that they trust, which will eventually allow them to just they're slowly figuring out how to get the kids more reps, because you don't get better unless you're working in front of live crowds, and they need different kinds of crowds to
Right.
really learn how to put it all together.
Right. Andre Adams 199 says, I like Dakota Kai, but she is always injured. That's very true. John Williams for 499 says, I wasn't fired, Booker T. I just didn't resign. This is why I buried you at WrestleMania 19. Andre Adams for 499 says, Alvarez built like Splinter's brother that the TMNT don't talk about.
Splinter's got a brother.
John Williams for 199 goes, every woman shall job to me. She's the female trip. Regina Shop for $10 says, plot twist, everyone is jobbing to Mercedes, not because she has creative control, but because Tony Storm likes watching women wrestle, because, you know, she's queer. HLA all day or something. We're bringing it back. CWJ 128 for $2. The best ability is availability. I like that. Wing Moonlight $10 says, man, I'm glad you guys are on. I'm going through so much right now with a lot of bad shit and zero support system. So thankful for you guys. You have no idea. Hey man, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're a part of this community, a part of this family. We are all here for each other. We're all here to make each other laugh. That's why we don't take anything too seriously on this show. And we are super happy that you were able to join us tonight, Wing Moonlight. Whatever you're going through, man, you got friends here that are that are pulling for you, and good luck with it.
Stay strong, brother. Stay strong.
Wolfchild for $9.99 says Shotzi is best friends with Harley. Same with Scarlett. So I could see her going to AEW unless Jericho stands in her way over that old tweet from Cagefall. Remember, what was that Shotzi tweet for Jericho?
I don't remember, but it was good.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Don't come crying to me when you need a job.
Yeah, it was something like that. Hold on. Let's see. Blood and guts. There, Jericho took the bump of the cage onto the crash pad that had cardboard covering it, and everyone saw it.
The egg cartons.
So Shotzi tweeted a gif of a young woman falling softly onto a bed with no caption, and then Jericho had a absolute conniption about it.
Got baited, huh?
He called it one of the legitimate scariest moments of his life, and he wasn't looking forward to taking the fall. So of course precautions were taken. Like if you didn't want to take it, you wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, of course, it's one of the scariest moments of your life. You know you're in a dog shit shindy, and you have no business doing anything there because it's run by a bunch of monkeys.
Yeah. He was afraid to take that fall, but not afraid to swim in a whole tub of mimosa or sing a duet with MJF. You're terrible.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I watched Matt Hardy die. Of course, I'm scared of falling off of this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that. I know that if I get hurt here, I'm on my own. Let's see what else. Yeah, I know Jericho. He flipped out over the Shotzi thing. It was basically like, we'll never hire you at AEW.
Never mentioned his name, did he? Or did she?
No, she just did the woman falling into bed. So
sensitive people, man, I tell you.
Regina Shop for $10 says, love Dave saying Cole gives it away, and AEW is over there filming from angles that show major spots missing by a mile. Yeah. Elbow fest from above. AEW gotcha, boy. Speaking of things that miss from a mile, did you guys see that Trinity thing? Or Naomi when she tackled Jade with the worst punches known. Looked like she looks like she was playing phantom drums on her head.
Yeah.
She started Jeff Hardy dancing on her.
Yeah. I was like, for those that say we don't criticize WWE enough, man, that was abysmal, and everyone involved in it should be ashamed of themselves. And not Jade. Jade did nothing wrong there, but okay, Naomi should be ashamed of herself. That was terrible.
Yeah, they even had to cut it in their recap. Like they cut like 3 seconds out of the.
That was the guy. That was exactly like the rookie guy who was trying to from the Dark Order who was punching Dustin and missing by a mile.
Yeah.
But it's worse because that was some rookie under a mask, and this is Naomi on WWE TV. So
I have another criticism. You're doing some good shit.
Yeah. Paul Heyman being oranger than you there last night, Marv.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, he's got,
Seriously, though. Did you see what Kevin Owens said?
what did he say? What?
So after they showed Braun and Braun was super tanned, he texts Rollins and goes, "Hey Seth, is being a part of your group getting a sick orange tan? And when do you and are you going to get one too?"
Well, I mean, you know, Heyman's gotta impress the young ladies that he's apparently dating, or unless that was a Belichick joke. I couldn't tell him. He's like, me and my fiance, and it was like some young, it was like some young lady, but I don't know. Andre Adams from 199 says Meltzer got his hairline from Party City. John Williams from 199 says Vince changed the mat when he started bumping. Yeah.
How about that? What was it?
God, that's hard.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre? Was that the match?
What? Is that what I've been doing to people?
You guys are falling on this?
Bullshit. No wonder you're all hurting on drugs.
I got a question. Was the NWA ring was that tougher than the WWF ring back at the?
I always heard the WWF rings were boxing rings. Those were the tougher ones, but they might have been. Kevin, you ever heard of that?
Yeah, NWA's rings sounded so very like.
No, everybody says the NWA rings were beautiful and light because they worked a different style. The WWE rings were always the worst for a really long time. But yeah, I believe the old WWF ones were mostly boxing rings because they always did those crossover shows.
Right. Scully Vibes for $2 is 40 years and Dave is still using a karaoke mic. Oh my gosh, it is.
He turns the mic so the settings don't show on the camera.
Yeah.
I've got you, babe.
Reverb. Echo.
Oh, just a small town girl living in, a lonely, world. She took the midnight train going, anywhere. Gosh. All right, guys, we're all having fun, but the fun and games are over because it is time for the Monet Mag. From the desk of the CEO. Hey, Monet Makers. In this issue, we will talk all things Boston Media Days, my match against Athena and Kanji, Joshua's love for AEW and Chris Statlander, my spiritual graduation. Oh, boy. Oh, guys, I don't pre-read these, just so you know.
Oh, God.
And much more. My website, MercedesMonet.com, is live, so make sure to check it out. And if you're a super fan, you can now text with me directly. So let's talk Monet. Thanks. Let's be text buddies. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Look at these samples. Hi, Mercedes. Is Snoop Dogg really your cousin? When did you talk to him last? He is. I saw him in NYC. We had dinner and talked fam. Hi, Mercedes. What are you doing today? I'm with my dog trainer trying to potty train Bugs Bunny. What? Please tell me Bugs Bunny is what she named her dog.
Oh, what a loser. What an unimaginative oaf.
Oh, what are you gonna name your I don't know. The crystals are telling me Bugs Bunny is his name. It's his soul's name. That's his spiritual name. His soul name is regards the work of the Enkindlers with despair.
He's always trying to get to Six Flags over Flushing.
He made a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Oh, God.
Mercedes, were you really hurt in your match with Momo? 100%. Her kicks bruised my throat, and I couldn't speak for 2 days. That's the bot responding. Oh man, so she's our new hero. For just $9.99 a month, you get exclusive one-on-one, personal, and private.
$99 a month.
Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it?
You said $9.99.
Oh, $99.99 a month.
There you go.
Get my private number that only my super fans can use, and don't give it to anyone else because, like, you're on the honor system. Like, what the hell? This has got to go right to a chat bot.
Gentlemen, we were not asking the important questions. How many people will
try to sext her?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But how many people will sign up?
Like, how many people are going to sign up, and how many of those people are going to get real inappropriate real fast?
Because this is a whole month, so you could text her day or night. She's supposed to answer you. What are you wearing?
Yeah.
Her tiny. What color socks are you wearing? Can I say?
Yeah, exactly. Want to text me directly? Now you can. This is an exclusive program where my biggest fans get one-on-one access to ask questions, get updates, and be a part of the Monet train. Toot toot in a more personal way. It's not for everyone, just for those who truly want to be connected to me. Sign up now. Space is extremely limited and spots fill fast. If it's full, you'll be added to the wait list. Okay, hold on. I got to see if this thing is full.
CEO.
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 All right, hold on. Let's be text buddies. My super fans have always been my super friends. Now, like friends, they can text me directly and privately. I'm so excited to finally be able to connect this way. Sign up and text me now. Sign Mercedes.
This is her way of circumventing OnlyFans. That's what I'm thinking.
You think?
Oh yeah, like she's not going to do OnlyFans because it's it's beneath her.
All right, it doesn't say if you can actually sign up, but
click sign up.
I would be.
Oh no,
I would be very, very no, because I just clicked onto like the page to like actually do it, the VIP texting.app,
right?
Which I guess is like the new Cameo or whatever. So no, I have no idea if this is actually a chat bot or not. All right,
those were her sexiest outfits, by the way.
Yes, of course.
That's what she'd like to think.
For Belts Monet versus Goddess Athena. Returning to my roots in Boston represent on the streets, yo, has always been a heartwarming experience, but this particular visit was extraordinary. She's talking about her brother, so we're not going to talk about that. So now let's talk about stepping in the ring. Walking in as 4 Belts Monet to face one of my dream opponents, the fallen goddess Athena, was a surreal moment. I couldn't wait to wrestle her and beat her. The energy at AEW Spring Breakthrough in Boston was electric. There's something magical about performing in a city that has always held a special place in my heart. The crowd was phenomenal, and the atmosphere at the stunning new MGM Music Hall right next to Fenway Park was simply unforgettable. A perfect backdrop for such a historic night. Oh, wow, Jennifer Pepperman is really earning her money there with the imagery.
Just so you know, Marv, they went from the TD Bank Arena, her first debut, to a goddamn theater in her latest debut in Boston. Like she can't bring him in.
Yeah, so she made her WWE TD Garden, and returning now feels like a full circle moment, except in a much smaller venue with a lot less people there and a lot less excitement because people have already figured out that I'm bullshit. This time I stepped in the ring with a new vibe, a new energy, a fierce determination that can only come from growth and experience. There was nothing new about the way you stepped into the ring. It was everything we've been seeing for 10 years. Oh my gosh. All right. So I still remember the excitement when Sarah Del Rey told me Athena had signed to NXT. I was so eager to one day beat her. And finally, that dream became a reality at this incredible event. Let me tell you, this match was one for the books. Athena is a powerhouse, and I beat her. And after stepping in the curtain, all I could think was, wow, I win again. Imagine the incredible stories we could tell if we had a pay-per-view match together. And then I remembered that I have creative control, and I could just do that. Let's see what else. What is going on here with the dogs? Media days, glam, fam, Fenway, and pizza.
Glam gold.
I like Pizza Thief.
Glam Gold. Because I am Flintheart Glam Gold, and I always will be. Glam Gold, Glam Gold, Glam Gold. All right, I don't care. I don't care about her. I don't care about her at Fenway Park. All right, you're there with people. You're doing stuff. You're beating more people in the ring. You're getting more belts. All in Texas, 5 belts Monet. What's been fueling my fire lately? The dream to main event All in Texas. Oh my gosh. If she's main eventing that show, I swear to God.
The last match.
She has been trying so hard to get people to go to this show, and she's been trying for 4 months. Picture this. I walk into Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as the 5 belts Monet, having just claimed victory in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And then I leave as the 6 belts Monet, standing tall after defeating the incredible timeless Tony Storm. This is not just a vision, it's my reality because I have creative control. But let me tell you, the road to my dreams isn't without challenges. Standing in my way is the fierce Jamie Hayter, and listen, I never met a hater who's doing better than me. You cut up. I gotta pay to text her, because with wit like that, I mean, I'd never be bored. I know that this is the year of dream matches, and I'm ready to seize every opportunity that comes my way. The second quarter of the year is heating up, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes me. I'm especially excited about my match with Jamie at Double or Nothing. Trust me, this is going to be a showdown that people will be talking about for years to come. I have a feeling she's right for the wrong reasons. At last year's Double or Nothing, I made my AEW in-ring debut and then never lost since. At last year's Double or Nothing, I became the TBS champion, the greatest TBS champion of all time, and I do say so myself. This time, I'm not just aiming to make waves, I'm here to make history again. That Owen Hart Cup, it's mine for the taking, and I'm ready to hit the express button on the Monet train to All in Texas. Toot toot. Oh my gosh, I hate her so much.
God.
All right. I'm not going to talk about her brother because. All right. So moving along. Kanji. I don't care.
By the way, Marv taught me the word kanji. I loved it. I was very impressed.
Well, it's kanji, I know, obviously.
Kanji, I'm sorry. Kanji.
I'm from Jersey, so with 4 titles to defend, increasing travel and career opportunities pouring in, I find myself busier than ever. While I'm grateful for these blessings, I'm finding that I have less time in my days to tell Jennifer Pepperman to write this magazine. That includes having less time to focus on articles that are the most compelling. I'm sorry, has there ever been a compelling article in this thing?
No.
Has there ever been an article of this thing?
Yeah. It's just vapid. It's a newsletter. It's a blog. To continue to write this weekly or even bi-weekly would do hold on. One thing that the Monet Mag staff agreed upon from the start was that we would never compromise on the quality of our content. To continue to write this weekly or even bi-weekly, I would say you write it pretty weekly to begin with already, Mercedes. Oh! Ew. Would do just that. Unfair to our readers and subscribers who have made this dream of mine possible, but we have unanimously decided to publish issues monthly. All right, Kevin Awful, do your cheering.
Yes. Hey.
Once a month. Is this what menstrual cramps are like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like bleeding out the privates would probably be a more pleasant experience than this. This will provide me with the time I need to write. You're not writing these. Stop it. As well as a month's worth of content. I'm actually excited about the shaft. periodic newsletters. For those that will miss us, your CEO won't be going far. And between months from time to time, I'll be sending out newsletters when inspired. You're already sending out a newsletter. It's this.
Good God.
You know what? I would like for you to refer to this time of month as our periodic.
Our periodic. Our Monet-stration.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the LinkedIn link for? Was that for her opponents or something, or what?
I don't know. What was it? The million images here. What
Want
the
your
heck?
job to me? You can go on LinkedIn or Indeed.
There's like a whole group of wrestlers that have lost to me on there, and they sometimes don't say nice things, but like they're all haters. Hold on, we didn't see anything about her spiritual graduation yet. Okay, this is her monthly inspiration.
Oh fuck.
May 9th is just around the corner, and I'll be stepping into the ring for NJPW Resurgence in Ontario, California. I'm sorry, NJPW, Ontario, and California are 3 words that I never think I was going to see together today. I'm gearing up for a triple threat match against the incredible AZM and the fierce Mina, and I'm going to beat them both. It's been a while since I've been a part of a 3-way encounter. My last one was with Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana, and that was a whirlwind of energy and passion where we truly tore the house down, if you know what I mean. But now, as I'm preparing for this chapter, I can't help but feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins. I know there have been some phenomenal triple threat matches lately, and I'm ready to add my name to that legacy. This match isn't just about winning, it's about showcasing the heart, determination, and resilience that define us as athletes. Oh gosh. All right, so come see CEO. That's it. What happened to her spiritual graduation? How come there's no emails this week? What the hell, Mercedes?
You have to text her.
To get
for $99.99, you get to text me asking my spiritual ascension.
Oh my gosh, spiritual awakening. Spiritual graduation was how she put it. So
it's the ascension.
It's gonna be just as disastrous. Oh my gosh. Oh my all right, guys. So there you go. That's the Monet mag this week. All right. So let's get
you are devoured.
From beneath you, it devours. Oh my gosh, Buffy references. I love it. Okay, so let's see. Brian Stryker for $10 says, I've seen AOL chat rooms with more legit than Mercedes' texts. Oh my gosh, I love it. John Williams for $1.99 says, Bugs Bunny is my rose quartz. Thank you very much. I have to potty train it. Regina Sharp for $5 says, I looked up her dog and I'm not sure this is better. On the show, apparently her dog, Ryu Maivia, ate the Monet puppet Harley made.
What
Ryu Maivia?
What a weeb.
Geek Mark. Can we take her card away there, Kev? Seriously.
Maddie for $1.99 says she named him Bugs Bunny and her cat Elmer Fudd. Good Lord. She wouldn't even name her cat Sylvester. It would be Elmer Fudd because that would be clever.
You know who do things like this? People with no personality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People who have nothing else going on. Like they've got to take from the social spheres of life just to put it together. What a sunt.
I hear you.
Before we're done talking about her, so I didn't see the full context of it, but I guess she was supposed to work Natty at some point in time somewhere, and she replaced Natty with Dakota Kai.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that she had an easier time going over.
Yeah, because Natty didn't want to put her over probably. Let's see. Juan Araya Garcia for $2.99 Australian says, I love the ending from the Headlock headlines. Thank you very much, man. I thought it'd be fun if like we had a rare moment. Here's the thing, like I know like the characters are always like at odds with each other, but at the heart of it, like there's like this friendship that's formed between them and not Dave. Like Dave will always be the outsider that the Marv puppet hates the most. But that's why I knocked him out at the end of the thing. But like I don't know, like Tooney Khan is he's a much more like sympathetic figure than Tony Khan, I think. Like there's an innocence to him. Like he's dumb and we make fun of him, but like he's our idiot.
I'm glad that you've got some sort of like canon behind these characters.
I do. No, what happens, dude? Like it's just like everybody really likes the moments where we like there's like an actual little like the one episode of Headlock Headlines where I stood up for Tooney to Mercedes. People were like, I liked that, Marv. And I was like, oh no, people are actually starting to like, like enjoy this kind of stuff. Like, yes, we still will like blow him up or something like that at the end of every episode, but there's love behind it now.
Yes. It comes with an arc.
Let's see. Liquid Fox for $2 Canadian says, I named my cat Karat. Yes, fantastic. I know. Yes, well done.
Puns are okay.
Yes. Andre Adams for $1.99 says Monet's voice is the exact sound of impotence.
Hilarious.
No Blue Chew for you.
No.
Take rose quartz chew.
You want to be an acorn? Listen to Mercedes Monet.
Yeah. BPE for $20. Send in BPE sent in the BPE special $20 and no message. Thank you very much, BPE. We love having you here, buddy. Oh my goodness. Regina Sharp says, oh my god, awful. I have LinkedIn because I need to like network my crystals for more crystal power. Denver Dollface for $2 is Mercedes had a 3-way with Swerve and Nana. That's my headcanon. I was like, she had like all about that, and I feel like Swerve would tag in Nana. Like I feel like he'd throw him a bone there, right?
Nana's not married?
I don't think it matters, dude.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Not in professional.
You're on the road, brother.
Yeah.
Doot.
Did you see CM Punk? Did you see CM Punk? He said, I need to have like a week or two off.
Yeah.
After these cuts. I'm like, where are you going for that week or two?
Yeah. Regina Sharp for $5 says, my family had a one-eyed cat once. I tried to name him Nick Furry, but my mom vetoed it. Oh.
That would have been awesome.
That really would have been awesome.
Nick Furry.
Before we end, guys, you know what I've been like really that I've been watching. So I was away last week out of that Park Place kind of thing that I was doing, and while I was there, I just was like, I gotta watch something. So I started watching Heels, the Stephen Amell show from Stars, because now it's on Netflix. Nobody saw it on Stars because nobody has Stars, but now that it's on Netflix, people are watching it. I really got into it. Like, I know Dis watches it. Any of you guys watch it?
Watch first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 episodes were a little rough for me, but after that, I kind of got into it. The end of the first season almost ruined it for me because I won't get into the whole thing, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm in the second season now. They make up for the ending of the first season in the second season because they undo it basically. But yeah, I like it. I like Stephen Amell. I even like his fake Georgian accent. And there's a whole lot of wildly different takes going on in the chat right now over this show.
I am seeing this. This chat is oof.
My favorite character on the show though is
strong feelings.
My favorite show on the my favorite character on the show is Wild Bill though, because I'm like, this guy is Michael Hayes. Like it's 100% Michael Hayes, just the aged wrestler working for the big corporation now is like a behind the scenes guy, dresses all flashy still. I really liked it a lot.
I thought you were talking about
still
Wild
a grifter. Maddie for $1.99 by the way says, for $99 a month you can feed a starving Monet. In the arms of an angel.
You got to be 35 or older to enjoy that joke right there.
That's right.
Plenty of Pixel Arts says, I've never seen any of that show, so I take a hard and violent stance of neutrality.
Yeah. Same.
Just get your mother's permission before buying.
I'm still waiting for the next season of Glow to come on. I thought that show was phenomenal.
No, Glow got canceled.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? That's why I moved on to Heels. Because
it'll be canceled.
Yeah, unless it's Stranger Things, in which case it'll just go on forever. No, like, so my wife and I watched the first season of Glow. And I was like, okay, well, I think I'm still like in the mood to watch something wrestling related that's like a show, but I don't want to watch more Glow because she wasn't with me on the trip. So I was like, I'll wait. And yeah, I ended up watching Heels, but I think Glow was fantastic. I really liked Glow a lot. I like that Chavo Guerrero was the wrestling coordinator on the show.
And Carlito as well.
Carlito and Brodus, I'm sorry, Tyrus. Carlito and Tyrus were like the brothers of the one girl. So,
and I had no idea that Mark Maron was such a great actor.
Yeah, for real.
Terrible comedians make great actors.
Yeah, for real. All be booty bitches and bacon with big boobies for $2 says, I am now a Taylor Swift cat. Meow, meow, mother F.
What's happening here?
Wait, Mark Barrow is in that?
Mark Maron. Mark Maron. I'm sorry.
Mark Maron.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but Mark Maron is a fantastic motivational speaker.
Yes, he is. Andre Adams for $4.99 says all those starving kid infomercials had Sally Struthers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys.
That's it.
Yeah, I think we're done for the night.
Awful Jeopardy's
Anything
getting
else?
bumped till next week or something. Or?
I didn't know Awful Jeopardy was on the table.
It's not on the table.
What did it say? Did you prepare an Awful Jeopardy? Like,
yeah, I've got an Awful Jeopardy ready to go.
Oh, okay. Well, have you had it for like a year?
I did actually.
Yeah.
Since the last time, it was round 2 of the Awful Jeopardy.
Oh, okay. Well, we will get to it eventually, but I mean, it's 10:46, and I'm tired. So, thank you guys. So Awful. Why don't you tell the fine folks at home where they can find you and everything that you're up to?
Yeah, you can find me on twitter.com/AEWFUL Wrestling, and also on the YouTube now. I'm now a YouTuber, I guess you would call it.
You are.
Check me out there. Yeah, you can check me out on AEWFUL Wrestling there. I've got a few videos up. I've got a series called The Death of AEW. The next episode will be dealing with and coinciding with the pay-per-view Double or Nothing. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to be taking a look at the first video of that. But yes,
well,
and also here every Tuesday on Tooney Talk Wrestling.
I am personally going to go on all of your videos and be like, when are we getting more of the death of AEW?
Yeah. In 4 weeks, motherfuckers.
Yeah, Kevin Apollo, what are you up to that people need to know about?
I don't know. I think I'm on WWE Pro tomorrow night. We'll be back here on Thursday for TV.
Yeah, Tooney Talk TV.
Is the pay-per-view this weekend? If it is, I'm really, very sad.
But Double or Nothing's not.
No, Backlash. Is Backlash this weekend or next weekend?
Hold on, let me check real quick.
Please be next weekend.
Backlash is this weekend.
Yeah.
I
don't wanna.
I won't
What's wrong with this weekend?
I just don't. I need a break.
Hold on.
Much wrestling.
Is it this weekend?
It certainly is.
It's saying. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. May 10th. Yeah, it is. All right. Well, we'll see you guys for that one.
Thank
all
you,
right,
Emily
guys.
And Darshan, by the way, for getting married
Yes.
on that day, and so that I won't have to be watching this pay-per-view with the fellas.
Plenty of Pixel Art for $5 also says, Awful, sell your Jeopardy to WBD. If they paid AEW $180 million, I'll bet you can get at least 2.
Hey, $2.
That's true. That's true. Oh my goodness. And of course, guys, for me, make sure you're checking out thatparkplace.com every single day for all of your pop culture news, movies, TV, theme parks, and video games. We are constantly taking care of all that over there. Minimum 6 articles a day. We shoot for 8. So for me and my writing team over there, please make sure you're checking it out. I am on, I have now a professional writery Facebook and Instagram now. Both of them are Marvin Montanero. So you can find me there on both. So yeah, like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and see what I post on those things if I post on those things. But and of course, you can follow me on X as Movie Marvin and as Marvin Montanaro. So join us Thursday. Tomorrow night I will be playing more Mass Effect on the game stream with my folks over at Tooney Talk TV. And then we will be doing Tooney Talk TV on Thursday night at 8 p.m. All right. Thanks very much for everything, guys. Big thank you to AEW Neckbeards, the producer and wise man of this show, who we could not do this without. He is the absolute backbone wise man here. And, we are very, very thankful for all that he does, keeping you guys company there in the chat all night long. Thank you, AEW Neckbeards. We salute you. All right. Well, guys, that about does it for this week. From all of us here at the Tooney Talk channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. They're not here.
Now, Perry the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator!
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing.
Thank you!
I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what?
Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooney Town. Thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.